cam just shut off, then it froze, and I'm like, what in the mittens, kittens, and sunshine? And then my name showed some weird number thing. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Yeah, everything froze, and I'm like, can you guys hear me? Because it's like all of a sudden, the light dropped off, this went black, and I'm like, what in the world? That was really, really weird, because it's never done that to me before. And actually, when I was setting up the stream the first time, it did it again. It had done it the first time then, and I'm like, huh. Okay, maybe it's just a fluke, and then it did it again. So this was the second time it did it, except actually on my stream. Well, I'm the only one in It's About Damn Time, so... Or About Damn Time, so, I mean, that one's kind of like... You know, there ain't much to really compete with. There really ain't. But... Yeah. Holy cow, everybody just flooded right back in. Luna or something. Oh, this ought to be good. Especially if that's the Luna that I think it is. I'm getting a whole bunch of people. Nishi MILF? Some fans that I'm not familiar with, and right off the bat... Okay, Silver's back in my guest queue. So that was really... A lot of things aren't for the faint of heart, but yeah, sorry about that disruption there, and about that coughing fit. That was really weird. I am trying to drink water and all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, whatever your opinion is about me or Joy or anything like that, I'm not gonna, like, throw you out in your butt or be like, you have to support this person or that person. Nah, just keep it respectful. Really. I've said this from the beginning, I will say it again for the newcomers who aren't used to the usual way that we kind of do things in here. You don't have to like me or hate me. It's perfectly fine to do both. You don't have to agree or disagree with me. That is perfectly fine to do both. It is your opinion. That is how it is. Just treat me with respect and treat the people around with respect. And that does not negate criticism. That does not negate whether or not you think that I'm a loony or anything like that. That's perfectly fine. I had Jim Bean in a moment here, and he was definitely a notorious troll. So, again, I really don't care, but the moment anything starts going crazy, then fine. That's when I'm going to be like, forget that. I'm not putting up with it. Hello, Jim. Welcome back. Speak of the devil. Like I said, I will call it if I see it, no matter what side of the fence it lies on. Does not make it okay whether they do it or whether we do it. What's wrong is just simply wrong. That's just simple as that. I try to be. When I'm not having a moment when I'm like really upset about something, I try to be generally kind of chilled and level, just like this. There are times that I am not so chilled and level-headed, which is not hard to spot, but again, for the most part, I try. And if for whatever reason I do come off like a bear to somebody and I find out, oh shit, I totally misread that, I am not above apologizing for it. Never have been. I just keep it real, keep it straight, blunt and to the point. No brain fog coming. I don't have anything like that. I don't even know what that would remotely, well, for the most part, remotely feel like. I mean, there are plenty of people that have shared their stories with me, but as far as, like, how I would relate to it personally, dealing with that, I can't even begin to imagine. I've been through my own stuff, they've been through their own stuff, but I personally can't imagine. Good lord. 4 pages? Yeah, there's like 4 threads going right now. The first thread, I will be honest, I don't know what to think about in much of it, but from there, when stuff really started to kind of mellow out a little bit, like right now, the 3rd and the 4th thread and stuff, whew. Well, cool. I don't think that it would be. I get the bits of absent-mindedness. See, people have shown me given me links to Kiwi Farms. I've never checked it out. That one I haven't checked out. There was another drama thread that I caught a bit of, but it looked like that was a dead thread. But, yeah, no. Page 1, page 2, oh. Page, cash me outside, how about that? Yeah, I had to go there. Good lord. No brain fog here. I will get absent-minded and forget where I put my keys, which is why I generally tend to wear them around my neck, right along with my big goofy pendant that showed up on our first YouNow streams. I will forget where I put something, like I'll have notes on something that I'll stick in a notebook and like put it somewhere in the bookshelf, and next thing you know, I'm like tearing apart the whole room because I'm like, oh, I know I had this thing. So, I do that. I have absent-minded moments, and there are plenty of times I have to remember, okay, did I get everything before I leave the house? Fish scale guy? I don't know who Fish Scale Guy is, so no, I'm gonna have to say no. Hello, Diz, how you doing? I don't know who Fish Scale Guy is. If you clue me in, I don't know. Hello, Peach and Hearts. Hope you're having a good day today. It's her words. I mean, there really ain't much to really talk about there. Plus, when she kind of turns around and makes a live stream and decides to exemplify everything that I just spelled out, that does more damage to her than me. I mean, she can call me a stalker all she wants, but I would literally be the worst stalker alive. I can't even put enough effort into, like, finishing my Pathfinder campaign. It's just not happening. Sorry, you're gonna have to find better excuses than that. And maybe not the same tired ones that you keep repeating. Seriously, it's like a script. Find better lines. Put all that money that you're threatening people with lawsuits with to hire somebody to actually write a better script for you. Truth Crow and Truth Crab? No, I don't. I don't know that. Yeah, supposedly she called me a stalker and all this other stuff, so fine, whatever. She calls me all sorts of things. She still says that I'm hating on her because she didn't take my advice. It's like, no, there's the conversation, word for word. That's what happened. I already debunked it. Why are you still saying it? Stupid. It's like retarded. Mike and actor is still defending her thoughts. Honestly, I don't have anything bad to say about Mike. Some people have mixed different opinions about him, but from the very beginning, he's always come off to me as very sincere and kind of a sweetheart in his own right. I think he honestly believes that he's doing what is right. I have not seen him go like full attack dog on anybody for the most part. I've seen him, like, defend people here and there, or not defend people, I've seen him defend her and give his take on things, but honestly, I can't fault him for that. He's doing what he feels is right, and have never seen him, to my knowledge anyway, I have never seen him be, like, super rude or nasty with anybody. So, when that happens, even if they have a different viewpoint than me, no matter who they like, okay, that's their opinion. It's okay for them to have a different opinion than me. They're not being nasty about it as far as I can care, so I got no beef with the guy. I have my own respect for him for at least keeping it real from his perspective, and I'm sure from his perspective he believes he's doing the right and honorable thing. I defended her very frequently, very thoroughly back in the day. Okay, so I can't fault him for that any more than I can fault myself for that. So, I keep it real as far as that goes. I'm a little bit more concerned with folks like Novak, because they're doing the whole attack dog thing, and they're really crossing a line because the only people that he criticizes are people that speak out about Joy, and I think that's taking it a bit too much. Even with that criticism aside, looking at his other videos, he generally seems to be very decent and very level-headed in his own right, and I actually enjoy his videos. So, I don't have much to say about him either, and I do feel for both of them. And what happens with them is whatever happens with them, but aside from what I've just stated just now, I really don't feel badly about them one way or another. And they certainly haven't given me a hard time, so I have no reason to go, hey, what the fuck? So, it's really, really simple about that. So I try to keep it real. You know, if somebody trash talks me and stuff, okay, I'll address it. If it's something within reason, okay, I'll address it. If it's something like just randomly being a dick, then I'm going to have something to say about it. But if it's just a matter of somebody giving their opinion, well, welcome to life. Welcome to the internet. The world is still turning. I'm still going to get up and put my shoes on, and preferably clothes first before that, because that could make for a very awkward stroll down the street. But, you know, the world's going to keep on turning. I worry about it when it becomes something to worry about. I fuss about it when it actually merits fussing about. And other than that, not that big of a deal. Like when I publicly warn somebody like 5, 6 sometimes, and I say, you need to knock this shit off, you need to stop saying this stuff, and they keep doing it, and I know they watch my streams because of the remarks they keep making on their own streams, okay? Then at that point, it's like, no, I warned this person, so fine, here you go. And I've told her enough times, you keep on after this, I'm going to start spilling everything, and I'm not going to hold back. You're not going to like it, I'm not going to like it, your fans certainly ain't going to like it, nobody's going to like it. Because there's just going to be more drama and just a big convoluted mess. But apparently that crazy train's going to keep rolling, and she's got zero self-control whatsoever, so fine, she can do her. Okay. Sorry, I've been, neglecting chat here. Between attacking and defending her actions, as long as they've got something to kind of back up their words and say, this is why I feel the way that I do, I'm more than happy to hear them out. Whether they like her, hate her, like me, hate me, anything like that. I've had Twitter conversations that have gone down like that. There are a few people that still contact me on Twitter that are pretty, I won't say hardcore fans, but they're definitely bigger fans of Joy's, and, we've butted heads on a couple of different things, and we've had good communications and not so good communications. But I can still respect where they're coming from. Easily. Okay. Piggy, John, don't worry, I did catch that. Is it late where I am? It's about 4:07 in the morning, but I started this at 2. So, I've been up for a little bit here. So, how did we meet? Okay. And if you caught this on lolcow, you've already caught my take on it, and that. As far as we met. Okay, so Phil at that point was going through 2006 was a very bad year for me. I was going through a lot of shit. And I was still very angry about a lot of things, including parental stuff. Which I'm not going to get into. I've talked to some people privately about that. I don't feel like sharing the details on here. But needless to say, it was not a very good environment. It was, in fact, a very, very bad environment. And there are a lot of reasons I should not be alive and kicking right now, but I am, and I'm very, very blessed to say that and consider myself very lucky to be alive in that regard. But when stuff like that happens, you tend to have a lot of anger about stuff like that, which I did. And it's definitely a process to get through, so I was a very angry young man, a very upset person, who was trying to deal with a lot of stuff, no longer really having much of any family, and trying to get through the world basically on his own. Okay? So, it's not a secret, I'm letting you know right now exactly what's going down, so it is story time. So in the middle of that, I'm musing on an old journal board, and this is where I run into her. And she's saying, oh, I know certain things about these things and all this other stuff. Let me tell you about my intuitions for my angel. She's doing the sweet talking, all that stuff. And at the time, it was everything that I could have hoped for, given the situation that I was in. It was one of those, I just needed somebody to talk to. I needed somebody that seemed actually positive for a change that I could talk to, open up to, and relate. Which is a lot of the people that get roped into Joy's stuff. And I was definitely one of those. I was hurting very badly. I was in a very, very dark place. And that's what wound up leading into Indigo abuse and all of that, because she was doing the Indigo thing, tried to convince me that I was some sort of Indigo. They were gonna work together to build these crazy cities of light and all this stuff, and the angels were gonna lead the way and all that. And I was not knowledgeable enough yet to realize that people can be really fucked up. Even more so than what I was already experiencing, or had experienced at the time. I did not expect it to come. I expected it to come from a not-so-friendly face, not from a smiling one. So, Indigo abuse happened. Indigo abuse. There really isn't much to say about a place that they try to bring the best and the brightest, and a lot of folks that were feeling much like myself. And you have a person on there that's claiming to be a gray reptile. I think that says it a lot. Now, again, I will say, since the thing has come up about pedophilia and stuff, no, Joy is not a pedophile. I will say that again, and I will say it one more time. Joy is not a pedophile. That rumor needs to die. There were people, and I said this on one of the YouNows that I were with her, I mentioned this, that there were people that associated with it at one point that had connections, very cult-like connections of sorts, that were involved in doing really ugly things with children. That's what resulted in it being closed down. That rumor started because there was some stuff that was stated, and it was put out in such a way that people were like, what the fuck? And now, as far as the pedophilic people go, I don't know how true that is, and I will say that because, again, this came from Joy to me. She told me these people were involved with this, and I already could tell by the symbolism that they were spouting that they had some really satanic cultish ties, and they were really fucked up. Now, whether or not they were actually pedophiles, I don't know. It is highly suggested that it was, and she said that she found evidence and all that stuff. Her and David and all that, that was where that came from. Okay. But the crazy thing to me was that she did not seem very concerned about the people's well-beings on the Indigo abuse itself. And there were a lot of people, just like myself, that were hurting just for different reasons, that were very emotionally vulnerable for different reasons. And right around that time, after that came out, then all of a sudden, like that, she closed down the forums without much of a word except a very blank poker face statement, which used to be up on the site, but now even that no longer exists. And then she basically went dark at that point for a little while. And there were people that were going to make a side thing for that. But up until then, I was noticing a lot of really stuff. Like, you think that this environment is toxic? It was toxic back then, too. It was. And what she's doing now with her illness and stuff, the people that she gets a hold of her, back then she was claiming to be psychic. And she's about as psychic as a corpse. She is not psychic, she has no real intuition, she is what you would call, if anything, a mentalist. They know how to ask the right questions to work people in the right ways. She's very practiced with it, she's very good at it. And she does this constantly. Just watch her streams, you'll see the same stuff. Even the way that she drapes her phrasing when it comes to her videos is all very much like Carnival Barker style to get people's attention and draw them in. She's very good at it. Think what you will about it, but she is actually very good at it. Moving along, though, kind of backpedal a little bit here. Well, not really backpedal, but go back a little ways. The problems that I was having on Indigo abuse, I was noticing that the people that were going on to her moderators and stuff, which were the ones that she wound up accusing later of all this stuff, they were talking in code. They were talking in symbols, and they weren't really good people at all. Some of them had on like a pleasant face, for instance. Other people were just more direct, and one person was trying to pass off like abuse and stuff, or ritual abuse, as like a form of enlightenment, and me and that lady, Destra, me and her butted heads something fierce, because I don't stand for that shit at all. If there is one thing you will learn about me very quickly, it is that my biggest berserk buttons are when it comes to child abuse and spousal abuse. I have a zero tolerance for it, I will not put up for it, and I will get very pissed off very quickly. I don't deal with that. These days, I also have a zero tolerance for mind games, so I can come off a little bit more like a bear with some people than others. But if I realize that, hey, wait a minute, hold on, I kind of overstepped my bounds there, I'm more than happy to go, okay, look, I'm sorry, I realized I was a bear, and I was acting out of line. But, there was a lot of weird stuff going on, and I kept trying to bring it to their attention, and it's like, not only did these issues not get addressed, but they were turned around and they were made mods, which is like the worst possible thing to do. And you would expect that she would actually have enough concern for the youngsters in her crowd that it would be like, wait a minute, what's going on with them? How are they feeling? What's going on? But it was more like how she looked, how her appearance looked. And I basically said, nope, I quit when it comes to this. You cannot tell me you're building cities of light when you have a very toxic community that is like the antithesis of everything it claims to be against, between stuff and then stuff you can't even take seriously, like the dude that was claiming he was a gray reptile. Like, you could read that shit and go, no, look, I'm willing to give people the benefit of the doubt, but there's a point when you're really crossing the line. And, holy shit, really, really crossing the line. So, that happens, and that was one of the first few falling outs that we had about it, because I'm like, look, this ain't adding up. This is not what I signed up for. I thought I was hopefully coming in. I don't know what I feel about Cities of Light and all that, but positive change. This is not positive change. This is toxic. Alright, Chambers, take care. Get some rest. So, I still like the fact that she thinks that she cured an inoperable tumor with, like, herbs and special remedies and all that other stuff, because I call bullshit on that. It tends to change, because she was claiming fibro, and then she changed up in one of her live streams where she said she doesn't know what it is yet. She has to go to a doctor to get it diagnosed to be sure. Then in another one, she was saying that it was possibly fibro and then something else. Like I said, don't ever play a live stream game with her don't ever play like a drinking game with her live stream contradictions and bullshits. You will die. You will die. That blood alcohol poisoning will kill you. Oh, gods. We're talking about a bunch of different stuff relating all the bullshit regarding Joy Sparkle's bullshit. And I tell you what, at least she got one of the three right. Because there ain't no joy there, and the sparkles is all an act. Bullshit, though. She got plenty of that, so 1 out of 3 ain't bad. Still a failing grade, but yeah, 1 out of 3. Yeah, no, I don't understand. Okay, I understand seeking alternatives, and if it works for you, great. But some of these alternative remedies, holy shit, I put them on par with I put them on par with the people that believe that a breathing diet is a thing. People that really, really make me fear for the species. They do. And this whole thing is like a case study in cults, to see how it develops, to see how the fans actually talk about her, and see, when I see people that go, I will support you no matter what. If I see them talking about me like that, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute here. You get a little too ingrained with this, don't do that. Because you're talking to a face on a screen. Like some of you in here, like you've known me for maybe just very briefly based on what you've seen in my videos. Does that mean you know me? No, it doesn't really. It doesn't at all. Same with Joy. People are saying, well, I've been around her a month. I know Joy. No, you don't. You know what she puts up on the screen. You do not know Joy. You do not know her. You know what she puts in front of you. But that's as far as it goes. So, some of them have known a couple of months and other stuff, but even still, you know, I'm not going to say, oh, wow, these people know me, because there are some people that talk to me and get to know me, and there are a lot of people that more on the acquaintance level, but hey, it's all good. But if someone turns around and go, well, you know, I know this for a fact, and I'm going to be like, okay, how? How? And I'm going to start asking questions. And they're going to start to hate me really, really quickly, because I'm going to be asking questions to find out exactly what gave them their opinion. And if I see them just parroting stuff, going along with the herd, then I'm going to call them out on it and be like, no, don't do that. I've said that in here. You know, don't just go along with me, don't do any of that stuff, which I find really funny whenever I hear Joy say it, the whole, you know, come to your own conclusions. Hey, that was me, buddy. Find your own damn words. I try to be legit, John. I don't know everything. There are some days I wonder if I know anything. But I generally try to be kind of, you know, just straight, blunt, and to the point. What you see is what you get. My personal opinion, as far as YouTube personalities go, not even YouTube personalities, but personalities in live stream, if you have a bunch of people that are putting their time, their energy, and their emotional investment into you, you do owe it to them to be real to them. No bullshit. Just straight up. And I think they'll appreciate you a lot more for it. I've said this to Joy many times. You have a certain responsibility. All those people invest in you, you need to be straight with them. And she just couldn't understand that. She still doesn't understand that. So, that's my take on it. That's why I don't mind being a smaller channel, because I don't have to worry about the temptations of all that shit. And I can just get to know people, and it's great. If I never wind up being a big channel, I am perfectly happy with that. That is okay. You know, as it is, it's got like 40 viewers right now. That's probably the most that's ever been on my stream. Normally it's something like anywhere from like 10 to maybe 20 on a much busier day. But, again, I'm okay with that. I don't really... Fame doesn't give a damn. I don't give a damn about that. It's all in what message is being portrayed, why is it being portrayed, and how true to the message is it. So that matters a very, very much, very, very big deal to me. She's about as straight as a circle. Now that is a good one. Yeah, Joey. Yeah, Joe. The bigger her sub count gets, the worse she gets. She's done this before. She did this on Facebook. The more of an echo chamber she gets, the more she figures she can get away with. And I've told her this. I told her specifically 2 different things. One, YouTube and streaming is a very different jungle than what she was used to. If she walks into this, starting doing the wrong things, she's gonna get eaten alive and it's gonna be her own damn fault. And the second thing that I warned her very, very clearly about, the mob that you rile up today is the mob that devours you alive tomorrow. Don't play mob mentality. It is a very stupid idea. She should have taken that advice. To be fair, there's a lot of advice that she should have followed from a lot of people, not just me. But she ain't gonna do that in 10 years, then she's not gonna start anytime soon, so... I don't believe any day now she's gonna wake up and go, oh my god, Bill was right, hallelujah, and like heavenly angels will descend from the skies, and finally go, it's about damn time, we given up to you and just started drinking already. You know? So, I doubt any of that's gonna happen. I doubt her channel's gonna go down anytime soon. I don't think she's going to book and run anytime soon. She's basically going to double down and triple down and ride this shit show all the way to its conclusion. It's going to happen. She doesn't... I think she knows that she's caught when she gets caught, and she just thinks she can worm her way out of it. That if she just talks enough of a good game, that people are just going to let her do as she pleases. It doesn't work that way. You don't challenge the internet and think the internet's gonna let you up on that. That's never happened in the course of the history of the internet, and it's not gonna start anytime soon. She's just not that special. Peach, yes. Yes, she has. She's always had a habit of surrounding herself, not always with minors, but mostly with vulnerable people. That's usually the common denominator. They are vulnerable in some form or fashion, usually emotionally. And her big gimmick is all emotional. Just work them emotionally. Work the crowd. If you've seen social justice warriors work the crowd, then you basically see everything that Joy does. It's the same damn stuff. And after you see through the patterns, after you see what she does, she's very one-dimensional after that. As I said to somebody, think of it like the Wizard of Oz. Okay, the man behind the curtain, the great and powerful Oz. And then they pull back the curtain, see that little wrinkly old man and go, ignore the man behind the curtain, there's no one here. It's the same basic shit. Yeah, it's exactly what it is, Diz. It's social engineering. So, let me scroll up here, because I'm probably missing stuff. And to be fair, I don't like Onion either. That was the reason that I backed her up in the first place. Because I saw that stuff that was going on, and I didn't like it. She was telling me about it, and she wanted some help with it. She wanted to know what he could possibly do and how he would do it. And me, being the type that I've seen side sorts like these before, I told her chapter and verse exactly what he was going to do. He also did it. Right to a T. People think that I can't read folks really well, and I can. I don't really have a use for it for the most part, except kind of make sure that people I'm talking to are on the up and up, but, you know, she thinks that I couldn't read that dude in a month, and that I can't see through her in like 10 years? Maybe to a point, but past that point, man, nice try. So, I mean, that whole Onion thing, and I was the one that I did actually give her, the idea for those interviews where she was talking to the ladies and that, and I was saying, you know, Onision's really dehumanized these ladies. See if you can talk to them, get their side of the story, and put a human face back on the people that he's dehumanized. And she took it and ran with it. I don't necessarily agree with some of the ways that she handled herself with that, but, you know, that was, again, she usually tends to take advice if it's something that she can benefit from. If it's something that, you know, she can use later. And that's where we get to the point where I was saying about enabling a manipulator to be better, because I gave her the full down low. I told her exactly what they do. I told her exactly how they did it. I broke it down point by point by point and said, this is what you need to look out for. This is what you need to watch out for. And when I think about it now, It really creeps me the fuck out because she's like, thank you, I learned so much from you. And I'm like, now I see it, I'm like, motherfucker. That still really, really bothers me. Because there are so many people that wouldn't have got roped in with that. Really, that bothers me. And it's probably still going to bother me for a bit. At first I was like, nah, it's not that big of a deal. But the more I think of it, the more it bothers me. And that information was given out to help. It was not given out to be a better manipulator. I can't stomach that at all. It is like everything that is completely opposite to my being. So it frustrates me and it annoys me and all that other stuff. But even still, I'll call it straight. Yeah, Anidia, that the act doesn't last very long. In most cases, it didn't even last over a period of months when it came to people that she was dealing with. And unfortunately, well, we've seen a couple of months now. She's gotten away with it a little bit longer because of the echo chambers that she's in. But even that's only going to go, so long. No thanks needed, Anna. Really, it's not. Somebody had to say something, and I had to defend myself at some point after warning her gods how many times? She seen my live streams, she saw the warnings, her people ran back to her and told her. She kept saying, oh, Phil ain't gonna do shit. Well, guess you're wrong, huh? And it's really funny. She saw my video. She did. And she was still subbed at the time. She then unsubbed. She then resubbed because I got the notification for it on my Google. And then she unsubbed again. So it's like, alright, you do you. So it's not like this is a big mystery to her. She's known about the video ever since it popped out. It's just that now that it's blowing up, she has to answer for it, and she does not like answering to her own words. So that's why she's starting shit now. Scamming people with the charities, I don't know. I am not familiar with the full details on the charities, so that I cannot comment on. I have not known any scams that have gone out so far regarding anything monetarily, unless you want to count her Patreon, because that bloody thing is a complete ripoff. But as far as I have ever seen or heard, I have never known her to do anything like that on a monetary basis when it comes to that. So, that's the inside scoop on that. And after a decade, if that was a regular thing, I would have definitely noticed something at some point. Oh, no worries, Des. No worries. I got your mail and the thing about the Discord. I may be hitting you up sometime tomorrow. Maybe, depending on what time I wake up. I'm off tomorrow, so maybe I can get a lot of these questions and people that want to talk out of the way and just kind of clear through all of that. That Patreon is a clusterfuck. There's no better way to put it. That Patreon is a clusterfuck. It's one of the bigger ripoffs I've ever seen. Well, no, one of the bigger ones. Okay, it's not one of the biggest, it's one of them. One of them. But I'll try to keep it down to what I actually know. And if there's like rumors or stuff, and regardless of whether it's for or against, I will definitely comment on it. So it helps clear the muck out so people can actually get down to business and see and hear things. Oh, I agree about Jamie. I do not like Jamie one bit. And some of you that are not familiar with my Twitter, we had a Twitter conversation out in the open. Because once I first started talking about Joy on Twitter and stuff, because I was pissed. I was not in a good mood that day. And I was so over it. I had had enough of the shit talking and all that bullshit, and her telling people constantly this, that, and a third thing. So I went off on Twitter, man. I totally went off on that. But as far as Jamie go, you think Jamie's attractive? Well, hey, you do you. Personally, Jamie popped up on the scene, and then she tried to like talk to me and stuff, and I'm like, I know who you are, and I don't like you. As far as I'm concerned, she hurt people trying to criticize Joy than anything. if she had taken one honest look at what she had received, she'd know really quickly that that was bullshit that she received, but she ran with it anyway. And that's just going to backfire, and that anybody with honest, legitimate criticism, it's going to hurt. So I told her flat out, you hurt things more than help them. I have no respect for you. And she did not like that one bit, because she had followed me, and she was doing the sweet talk thing, and then after that she unfollowed me, and it's turned into this heated little argument, right? It gets better, though. Because I just started getting snarky. Because at some point, when I realize certain things, like, if I'm talking to a troll and I realize I'm being trolled, anything that was, like, super serious at that point just drops. And I go into, like, snarky, mischievous, you know, kind of, okay, we're gonna have fun with this mode. So, like the troll I talked to on Twitter today, who I told him to get a dictionary, among other things, and I'm like, dude, do you understand what paranoia means? This is what it means. Dictionary. Do you even? I will, like, if people mess around with me, I will happily mess with them right back. I love a good sense of humor, even if I don't agree with you. Oh, Jamie's nuts. I told her to her face, I'm like, look, it's really weird that you'd actually come to me, because, you versus Joy is exactly like Joy versus Onision, and you're so screwed up you can't even see what's right in front of your face. And it's funny, because I told her at one point not to let the door hit her ass on the way out, and she's like, door? There's no door here on Twitter. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm like, oh, for once, you say something credible. Amazing. Miracles do happen. Unfortunately, at that point, she decided that she found me very witty and found that somewhat interesting. And she's like, I like you. Can I keep you? And I'm like, no. Well, even if you don't like me, I would still like to follow you. Is that okay? Can I keep you around for a while? And I'm like, that's not the cringiest, most fucked up thing I'm gonna hear all day. Which it was. And I haven't heard back from her since. But man, we and her were really going at it back and forth, and I was just really, really letting the snark loose and getting a little bit mischievous and be like, okay, we'll play ball. Because at that point, seriousness just drops out the window. We're going to have some fun. Oh, hey, fans, thank you. Much obliged, much appreciated. Oh, going to sleep? Have a good one, Case Marie. I'll try to do another stream at some point here soon. Who started her own? Oh, Jamie, yeah. We saw her on lolcow. She got banned like twice from lolcow, Jamie did. Again, I equivalate her, Joy, and Onision to like a Narcissists battle royale. And I once asked this question, I said, when two narcissists go to head, who wins? And that's what I think that people don't get. This is not really a war, and there are no winners in this. Everybody loses to some extent. It's just a matter of how much. He is on a way higher level, but let me put it this way, Jasmine. At this point, they're calling Joy Onision for a good reason. And I actually think it's funny because she flipped out about the Onision stuff after I posted it on Twitter, which is, again, how I know she reads my tweets. It's really see-through, really evident, because people were saying it on lolcow and other places well beforehand. She didn't address it. She didn't give a shit. So, after I say it on Twitter, all of a sudden, then they care. Then she cares. So, I thought that was hilarious. Lolcow was so paranoid they thought Philip was a poser earlier before he came in and cleared things. Well, okay. I will go to bat for lolcow in that case, okay? Because you have to figure beforehand there was the whole angel debacle, there was people that may or may not have been her, there were people claiming to be Joy, there were people claiming to be this and that, there were people accusing people of being this person and that person and a third person. So I said, okay, you know what? Fine. I will settle this. And, I will just, okay, Phil post. There you go. That's me, so you don't have to worry about blaming someone else. And if you want to tell me I'm a schmuck, that's perfectly fine. I can deal with that. If you've got questions, I will do my best to answer and sort everything out. And I'm not even going to try to bullshit those guys. They found, like, my Twitter and my video like that. Yeah, that's a good idea. No, 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 no. Forget that shit. Because they'll see through it like that. They will completely dissect that shit. They ain't playing around with that, and they ain't taking shit from anybody there. So, I do understand why they would think that that people were posing, because it's happened. Joy has sent people in there to muck up the threads, and in one case they have said, "Okay, look, if you're not me, then you are Joy." And it's like, huh. And there were like 4 or 5 people in there that were doing this stuff. That was probably the second thread, and it's weird because if she had just left them alone, it probably would have died out. But the more she kept poking the bear, the more the bear kept looking to see who was doing the poking. So again, she's her own worst enemy. She keeps doing this shit to herself. So, she does this shit to herself. And that's fine, Diz. I mean, we're definitely not going to... I don't think that everybody is going to agree with me on a lot of things. And there are people that will agree and people will disagree. That's fine. That's cool. As long as I see people critically thinking, you're really going to hear much from me sideways one way or the other. As far as the lolcows go, I've watched the place long enough to see it actually kind of change, which is how I know the kind of people that are, posting on there and stuff, to where it went from a lot of shit-talking to a lot of, okay, this makes sense. Okay, we want proof and we want evidence, or GTFO. So, that's why I say what I do about that, because they've demonstrated it. Over and over and over again, they've demonstrated it. So, as far as I'm concerned, I've defended myself. I've defended Joy. I don't agree with people I spend my whole day with. Honesty earns respect. Very true. Very true. Very true. I have it on very good authority that I am not a dinosaur. I'm not sure what it would be like to be a dinosaur, and considering the space requirements and the eating stuff, you realize what a brontosaurus had to eat every day in order to survive? I would be dead. I'd be dead several times over. Forget that. Plus, I don't think I would make a very attractive dinosaur, but that's just me. Yeah, Angel was a minion of Joy that lashed out on people that disagree with Joy. She did some things that were definitely unscrupulous. Me and her have had talks. She's basically tried to make some peace. That's between her and the people she's trying to make peace with. I have told her quite frankly that regardless of what was done on whose orders or not orders, because I can't verify that part, that people are still responsible for her actions. And she's like, okay, fine, I'm seeking help for that, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I left it at that. She didn't try to shit-talk me when I spoke with her. She didn't try to sweet-talk me. And she was very blunt and straightforward about what she did say. So, with that being said, at that point, okay, I'm more than happy. I don't see a person playing games or anything like that, so cool, I'll at least hear you out. She's still, follows me on Twitter and occasionally likes something here or there, but we really don't talk much. All in all, she seems like she's kind of moved on from the situation. She doesn't really comment much on it, and usually most of her stuff you see is a lot of gamer threads or stuff about, animals or stuff like that. Yeah, she actually posted one of the messages where Joy had accused me of being, out to get her and some secret conglomeration, and, saying that I had, her grandma's information, which, to clarify, I do not have her grandmother's information. As far as I've ever heard, that her grandmother is a little sweet old lady that basically roomed Joy for a time and let her basically get back on her feet. I have nothing, there's nothing... I have no information on Joy's grandmother. I've never spoken with the lady, and I don't want to. None of my damn business. Don't care. So, I did laugh at the comment about, calling up her exes and all that. I haven't spoken with those people in years. I know things about the situation, and there's 1 or 2 of them that are still on my Facebook. I have not reached out to them, and at the same time, as far as I'm aware, they do not know about anything that is currently going on. Personally, I would like to keep it that way. Okay, and I will say again, for those of you that are new, please do not bother these people. Leave them alone. They had enough to deal with already putting up with her. Once was bad enough. Okay? They have moved on with their life, and in every case, they are all doing better. From her I want to say ex-husband, although I don't remember them ever like making the separation final, to, you know, people that came out on the Tumblr and that I won't name because I've already spoken with it in that particular source. Many of them who were real sweethearts and got burned really badly. So please do not bother them. Leave them alone. If I find out people are bothering them, I'm going to get very pissed off very quickly, and then Mr. Not So Nice Philip's going to come out, and I'm going to be doing a lot of cursing. I don't want to go there. I'm not going to go there. The break was like 45 minutes ago. Oh, I don't know what you mean by the break. Like if you mean like when I stopped supporting her, I want to say about a month ago, maybe a little longer than that. No, it's probably 2 months by now. I got my times all wrong. So it's probably a little longer than that, because all this shit went on. It was right around the time, it was right before the... it was right around the time of Will I, Won't I Debate Onision. It was right around the time that she was in the... that Jacqueline was in the stream doing the debate with Onision. That was when I said, nope, I'm done. That's when. But, no, again, please do not bother these people. There is one person that... The reason I bring that up is because there's one person I was talking to on Twitter, and I was talking to them through private messages, and they mentioned that they had spoken with David, and that he's doing really well, and that he's a really sweet, intelligent guy, and that he seems to have a wife and kid now. And I'm like, what the fuck did you do? And I was not very happy with that. I was actually very, very upset about that. Because he put up with enough shit. Especially David. David put up with a lot of shit. A lot of control freak issues and stuff. And for that, I'm glad that he's doing well. Because Dave's one of those kind of guys that he's like... he's kind of quiet. He's kind of like the brooding intellectual thinker. But he's smart as a whip. He's very... He has his moments where he can have a small temper. But he does try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and he's always seemed to me has been pretty cool. And when he comes out of his shell, that guy can make some jokes and laugh with the best of them, and his jokes will sneak up on you. Because he'll play it off like he's serious, and then turn and look at you, and then that smile will start creeping up, and you're like, damn it, he got me! So really, he is good people, and he was, I'm glad to hear that he's doing well. Same with other people. Again, I don't bother them, they put up with enough shit. And as far as I'm aware, they don't know any of this is going on with Joy, and they don't seem to care. So, there's no reason to bother them. She does enough shit on their own without needing anything more out of them. So, I let them at that. If they want to talk to me, great. If they don't, yay team. And even then, I'm not going to be talking to them about that shit. I'm going to be saying, hey, I heard things are going well. What's up with that? What are you doing? What new projects are you working on? So... Every person I know that is against her at the moment is against her and wants to remove all outside details. I will clear things up. Like, there was a lot of speculation that was going on lolcow, which is why I cleared a lot of things up there. Plus, they were nothing but nice to me, so I see no reason to clear up what they had already found. And they wanted to know certain things that had already been released into public for speculation, so really there was no harm, no foul in kind of, like, expanding on that. And clearing certain things up. And considering how much of the information she releases anyway, I mean, I did not release, like, her home address or anything like that. Like, her actual address, like the street number and all that. No. Because I can see very quickly how that would turn out very badly in a lot of ways, and all it takes is one of these people that's pissed off with her, but not really balanced in the head, doing some shit, and that's a really big problem. And I would feel very, very badly about that. Because no matter how much I like or don't like Joy, okay, that's still stooping to an entirely different low. You know, that's just uncalled for. Nobody deserves that, no matter how fucked up in the head they are. You know, just like I was talking about that ex who was pure evil. You know, nobody deserves... There are certain things that nobody deserves. And, you know, it's her, it's whoever's around her, everybody gets drawn into it. She's going to do things at some point that are going to fuck her over royally, but that's just not right. So, no releases of her freaking info and all that, which is why I laugh at her doxing stuff, because if that's an actual dox, releasing, like, street addresses and stuff, That's the one piece of information that I'm really not going to release. She'll probably release it before we know it, but that's the situation that I would see basically escalating from there, and I am not okay with that. Because I don't care how much of a fuck-up she is, or how much of a fuckwit she is, it's still... There are other ways to deal with that shit. And that's the one thing I don't want to see happen, and I will not be celebrating like somebody going after her in that regard, because that's bullshit. If you pay attention to my vid, you'll see where she was even saying that she had top secret information, and then she was saying something about the lolcows first, and somebody threatening her. Then it was the anti-Onision community supposedly threatening her. I mean, way to pull in Anita Sarkeesian there. Oh, I'm being threatened. Really? Where's the information? Oh, I'm releasing it shortly. It's a big mystery. It's no fucking mystery. It's not there. It's a tagline. She's always going to release the information. If you have it, then just fucking release it. It's really simple. I defended myself really easily. Yeah, it was a crappy 3-hour video, and I'm sorry for the length. I can't stop apologizing for that enough, and I won't. But still, I released the information and was done with it. Boom! Headshot. Done. Nope, I'm Joy, and I'm going to go ahead and stretch it out just like I stretch out my other videos, bullet point, across 100 fucking videos. Because, hey, I can work the crowd, and everybody's picking on me. Nobody's picking on her. The only person that is victimizing Joy is Joy. And regarding her thing about me slowly releasing info, yes, I have info that I have not released. Do you have any idea how long it would take me to put all that shit together? Just to put together that 3-hour video. Okay? I really had to go digging through all of my shit, and, it took hours. And then trying to get YouTube to work and all that shit. That was the greater part of a day, which is why I did it on my day off. Okay? And she's sitting there going, he's slowly releasing info. Why? Why slowly release it? I'm just gonna dump it and be done with that shit. And I want to put myself through that over and over again? Fuck that! I'm still unsatisfied with that damn length, but of course... It's funny because one of the people that was the person well, there's no problem with saying that name now because it's all over Twitter. Nick Mon had actually released it a couple of times, and he's like, "Is it okay if I spread this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. People are going to do it anyway. I mean, do what you want. Any information you have your full permission to pass on." Okay? Because he seems to be very responsible with what information he does have, and he's very blunt and to the point, very straightforward. Pretty cool character from what I've seen. He hasn't given me any reason to say otherwise, and I doubt I'll find one. At least so far. And... my nose keeps itching! One thing I don't like about this mustache, it tickles my nose like crazy. Don't like it. But, as far as that goes, though, he said... And he's like, "Lol, you are such a noob at this," and I'm like, yeah, I am. But, okay, so court case-wise, do I think it could damage the court case at this point? To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know enough information to totally say one way or the other whether or not that's a thing. There are other people that apparently know a lot more of that information than I do. There's a lot of stuff that really puts Joy in a negative light regarding that, especially considering that people begged her not to release stuff at all, and apparently she did anyway. Which is not a surprise. That's Joy. But it's a possibility, depending on what she released and how she released it. I will say the whole thing about the Falston group is really asking for trouble, but I don't think that's that's between her and the Falston group, not actually pertaining to the case. As far as getting information wrong, as far as saying certain things, and then, hey, I talked to a lawyer. That could be potentially very damaging, which would explain why the gag order was put in place. Now, this is the other reason I've avoided talking about that too, because there's just so much other crazy stuff, and there's a gag order. Look, here's my view in the court case at this point, and I'm going to leave it at that. There is definitely enough evidence out there. It does not need any further awareness. People are very aware of that case. Okay? I care about the kids, too. That's why I'm going to say what I'm about to say right now. Okay? People, like 90 plus videos is fucking obsessive and excessive no matter how you slice it. They claim that that's about the kids. But the internet follows people around. Look what happens to people that just became like an internet meme. It follows them around for years and years. Those kids are already going to be going through enough shit. But now they're going to have to deal with the internet when they get older, and that's going to follow them around. If you care so much about the kids, either remove the videos or privatize them. Do not blame it on awareness, because that is a bullshit activist trope that has been spread around for the last 50 years to basically say, we're looking like we're doing something, but we're not doing shit. That's the truth of it. That's what happens whenever you hear awareness. It's a cop-out. It's bullshit. Okay? But this is the point where people are more than aware there's enough people talking about it. We don't need to worry about awareness anymore. We don't have to worry about short attention span because there's enough people with long attention spans that say enough stuff to cover for all of them put together. If you really think about the kids, then think about the future that will follow them. And then either privatize the videos so your followers can see them and keep up to date, or remove them. Because if I had videos up on that, that's exactly what I would do. Even Philly D, even other people that did videos on that, they just one and done it and left it at that. They did not try to milk the situation for more subs to try to make themselves look like some fucked up white knight. Joy has never cared about anybody in a way that did not suit herself sometime, either now or later. But it's usually about the later. So that's my that is my honest-to-God take on Daddy-O5. I think it's a really fucked up situation. My heart goes out to the kids because I was in a bad home situation and saw and dealt with some royal shit. But I think if they're really so concerned about those kids, this is where they back off and let the courts handle that shit. I'm not a fan of the court system myself. I get it. But the judge is clearly trying to work in a way that they can actually address this fairly. I don't want a mistrial. I want this thing to be handled fairly and in an actual court, not in the court of public opinion, which can be fucked up any which way you slice it, even more than the court system is. So, that's where I say, no. And stuff like certain hot bucket items, hot topic items, like the Joy video, that's not monetized. I made sure that shit wasn't monetized. I don't want a dime off of it. It's not about that. It's about clearing my name, and that's it. The stuff that was, like, even the GoFundMe stuff that I put up, it says in bold letters, this is for evidence purposes only, please don't donate, I thank you, but I don't need it. I don't agree with people exploiting stuff for their own game, and it is very clear to see, if you pull up Social Blade, that her subs were dropping left, right, and sideways due to the bad behavior that she was demonstrating beforehand. Then she latched on to an emotional issue, and took it and ran with it, so she could play off it. Again, always emotional manipulation. And now that she can't do it, she'll try and find a different topic that works the same way. That's the only way that things are going to keep on. Do I have... Oh shit, I have people, all sorts of people in my guest queue. Okay, I have been like really neglecting my guest queue. So, I have a gold-plated aircraft carrier. I would not know what to do with it. I will never be the person that will have a gold-plated aircraft carrier. I would melt that shit down, and I would probably be donating a lot to charity or starting stuff up. That's a big thing with me. It would probably go to, like, women's shelters or, like, abusive homes or scholarship or something like that. That's where that damn money is going to go, if anything. I would never be one to have a mansion, because I don't honestly know what the fuck I would do with it. I would wind up getting people to room or something shit crazy like that. Or I'd turn it into like a halfway house. I would not know what to do with the spaces. But that's just my way of thinking, and yeah, so. Alright, so let me guess. Silver, you ready to guess? I apologize. I keep keeping you. Excuse me. Okay. Jacqueline I found pretty decent. I've never bothered her one way or the other for the most part. She seems to have a level head. I thought it was funny when I saw the fan video of, like, her, Eugenia, and Social Repose all, like, dancing for a fan gathering and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I don't really have much of a dog in that fight, but I do think it's funny. Kudos. Open a business. Now that's a thought that I've gone into that I've had for a while, but we'll see. Alright, I'm gonna guess Silver now because I've been making her wait. After that, I will guess, somebody's been telling me to guess Lotus, so I will guess her. It's not often that I get a chance to guess her, so. Alright. Alright, let's see. Does it connect?
Hey!
Hey!
What's up?
How you doing?
Oh, okay.
Thankfully it's ceiling, because if that's not up there, I'm gonna have a lot of problems.
To what?
I should paint it multiple colors, so if it ever collapses on me, I can say that I tasted the rainbow without going gay. No shade to any gay or lesbian people or anything like that in the audience. We love you. You're awesome.
It's so funny. All right, you just got to have fun with that.
Right?
I'm always.
I have to kind of remind myself because I'm like, hold on, different audience. So some people are used to my snarky, mischievous side, and other people are gonna be like, "What the fuck did he just say?" I'm like, no, nothing like that. No hating, no haterade. It's a very sour flavor. I'll skip it.
I was about to go smoke a cigarette, but I'll put it off a little bit. Anyway, so what's up? Hey, BZ. Hey, Lotus. Hey, Allie.
Very, very stacked chat. I thought it was going to be the usual, like only a few people come in and we talk shoot the breeze for a little bit and then play some games.
Hey, Alex. Jim Beam.
That's what I thought, and then I'm like, oh wait, all of this happened.
Yeah.
Well, I still plan on keeping us going for a little bit because, hey, I'm off tomorrow, so.
There you go. You're off tomorrow. I plan on, well, damn, it's late. Okay.
Of course, you know this is when the game stuff does come around. Oh god, that shit's gonna be packed.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the twisted things they're gonna come up with, because if their imagination is anything like the regulars, oh boy, Mad Libs and Quiplash.
Oh, yeah.
I won't be able to play because I'm gonna be too busy like trying to breathe in between bouts of laughter.
Oh yeah. Ignore what?
No, you're not being ignored, Tim. By the way, that was a very awesome.
That was funny though. I need your...
The memes that I got, I will give him a shout out for the memes that he did that I posted on there.
Matthew.
So I'll give him where credit is due because I did find those funny. So good job, Mr. Tim. That stuff was hilarious. I still like the Don. I really need to find that suit. Actually, do I have the suit?
I've been claimed apparently.
No, you can't claim. Dude, Cody will.
To Jim Beam. What's going on there?
Tim did the Don Phil, and Facebook real quick. Sorry, I have been ignoring that.
Oh, you haven't looked at your Facebook? I've been ignoring Facebook too. It's okay. Whatever. I'm on a hiatus. I love you, Tim. I'll see you soon.
And my apologies here to Allie, but the next person I'm going to wind up guessing, like I was saying, is going to be Lotus, because there's some stuff that's been going on, and she wants to kind of clear that up and put some perspective out there, and I'm like, hey, cool. People should get their fair say to defend themselves, and especially with everything that Lotus went through and stuff, no. She'll get her, she needs her you will definitely get your fair say.
Yeah, I agree completely. And damn, I didn't realize the time, but yeah, since it is getting so late, as long as I don't pass out, I will probably actually be going live myself at some point. So Lotus, if you're still awake when I do that, you're more than welcome to
there you go.
Do your thing up on my shit. I know there's some other stuff, unrelated stuff that she wanted to say. Oh, sharp. Very sharp.
Yeah, it's nice. I love this shade of green, too. It was actually a thrift store buy, and I'm like, hey, that's pretty nice. But like I said, I can definitely rock a suit.
Now what you need is just, like, you get some skinny jeans, okay? And you get some, you're already, like, cringing. Okay, you get some skinny jeans. You get a really nice t-shirt that's not too tight, but just tight-ish. And then you throw on the blazer. and
And
that's
at
how
that
you.
point, I will be like, and that's how I get hit on for like days straight by gay guys. Which is like, I appreciate the vote of confidence, but sorry
Hey.
guys, not my bag or my tea bag.
The women will come too. The women will come. They don't even have to be skinny jeans. They just have to be, hug your ass jeans. Like, everything else can be loose. They just gotta hug your ass. Just saying.
Glazaz, that's Lindsay speaking? Oh,
Tips.
okay. But,
I'm sorry, chat. I did not see you.
yeah, the most
Aw,
misrepresented person in the world suit. Thank you for that, Allie. I'm actually going to open that up in a side link. Loom like Ravingo. I'm not really sure what that means. But, okay, cool. I will take it as a compliment, hopefully.
Oh,
Hopefully.
my God.
And if not, I'll just take your word for it, because I ain't dealing with that.
We love Allie.
But, yeah, I'll make sure that I give Lotus a chance to kind of address some things here, too. Because I know that's been a long time coming, for sure. And it takes a lot of guts to stand up, especially on stream, and go with the whole world watching and go, okay, this is what happened. So I got mad respect.
Yeah.
Well, I have mad respect for both Lotus and Tim in general. They both went through a lot of shit with all of this.
Absolutely.
But, no, I got a lot of mad respect for a lot of people these days. But, yeah, they've been kind of really trooping through this and trying to put their best face on it.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're awesome. Everybody fan them.
I will say one thing though, Jim. I'm sorry, you can't claim silver. She's just on a different level, man. She got more class than you can deal with. Plus, Cody would kill you. Like he would like wrap you around like he would like wear you like a scarf. He's already said. You know,
I have an internet husband.
He's already said, yeah, that he's her internet husband, and he, quite frankly, he can take. I'm sorry, he can take you. He would wear you like a scarf.
But no, he's a sweetie. We're just friends talking. So
Jim,
anyway,
I'm sorry, but I will not bet on you.
Nobody can claim.
In that betting pool, I will not be betting on you, buddy. I've seen Cody. He's a sweetie, but he is ripped. He will wear you like a scarf.
The only person that can claim me is me. So sorry.
Very true. Very true. I just wanted to throw that out there because I'm like, oh, I see where this is going. Oh boy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's crazy. Within like moments, like my stuff wound up on it's on lolcow. It's on Twitter, and of course,
I don't do
like, YouTube is blowing up. I forget what the sub count is now.
You
did, and I'm sitting there like, it's not gonna happen. Watch, nobody's gonna give a shit. They're just gonna, they're gonna be like 3 hours. Who cares? And I'm like,
3 months from now, it doesn't matter the time frame. It will happen, and you're just like, nah.
I'm like, nah, there's no way. It's not gonna. I'm like, look, nobody really cares. I said my piece. It's all good. It's not going to happen. And, well, apparently I am wrong. I am quite wrong. But, no, this isn't a bad robe.
I always love to be proven right, so it's cool.
Oh, ha, ha. Actually, this is my bathrobe. This is actually my bathrobe. My little...
Aww.
And it's actually reversible. So, yeah, that's actually my bathrobe.
Wait! I like the other side.
Oh, the one in black?
Yes.
This thing here?
Because that is kick-ass, yes.
Yeah, that is actually pretty kick-ass.
I don't have a bathrobe.
Hey, it's a bathrobe. I don't expect gay guys to be checking me out in a bathrobe. If they are, I'm probably in the wrong environment and need to check myself very, very quickly.
You don't have
probably
to
start
fan me,
running.
but if you want to, you click on my picture.
That's funny though.
Where I'm guested, and it should bring up my profile, and then there's a little button that says fan.
Ugh.
That's how you fan people, just in general. But yeah. So yeah, how are you?
Me, all in all, I'm doing all right. Like I said, next week starts training at my job for the next tier, like max support and stuff. And with that comes another pay raise, so I get a week of training.
Awesome.
Actually, a week and then 2 more days of training. And then I'm not sure when that pay raise kicks in. This last one kicks in for that, so that's going well. I'm getting better bit by bit, obviously, aside from that fucked up coughing fit earlier, which, holy shit.
Yeah, damn. I was like, don't hack up your lungs, dude. You need those.
But it's no long, but it's not to the point where it's like causing me like chest pains in there, because when it's starting to cause me chest pains in here, that I was starting to worry about. And I was saying that if I get hit with a third fever, then at that point, fuck it, I'm checking myself in the hospital, because I ain't gonna play around with that. You don't, I mean, the older you get, you really don't want to play around with your health. So.
No, you don't. You really don't. Shit, I mean, even, oh my god, I've been putting everything on the back burner. I mean, like, I need surgery, I need my gallbladder, I have to have surgery on my bile duct.
See, I'm lucky. I don't need any kinds of surgery or anything like that. I'm really lucky, and I hear all this stuff from everybody else, and I'm like, you know, I don't think I'm going to complain so much about that past shit anymore, because... yeah, it was fucked up, but they deal with it on a constant basis on a whole nother level, and
You know, you get to complain about whatever you want. I mean, like, it's just the way it is. Because, like, okay, even with, I've been putting everything currently, you and your nose. Like,
yes, it freaking tickles me. It doesn't stop. It, like,
either someone's talking about you, or you're lying. What's going on?
That's...
That's what my grandmother used to say. Every time I was itching my nose, she's like, either you're lying about something or somebody's talking about you.
Considering what's going on right now, it's a wonder my nose is not like itching 24/7. Like I can't sleep because I'm like, damn the nose. Actually, no, it's because whenever I like move, like these little hairs in here tickle the inside of my nose, and I'm like, damn it. This is when I start to get annoyed enough that I wind up shaving all of that off, and I'm like, argh.
Yeah, you just shave your nose hairs. Not that big of a deal.
I do. I use like a little one of those trimmers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, but no, you get to complain about whatever you want to. Like, I know that you
writing me into some My Little Pony fanfiction? Please no.
He writes My Little Pony fanfiction.
I know if there's a friend of mine that...
I love my bronies. I love my bronies. So a shout out to all my brony people. Mwah, you're awesome.
There's a person that I know that would probably be really thrilled with whatever you write, but me personally, that's not my cup of tea, and yeah, please no.
That sounds very sexualized.
It does, actually, and I'm like, I hear fan fiction, and I think I start to cringe internally. Because I know what fan fiction used to do.
That in, like, you know, Silver's Red Light, or whatever.
Which one?
Just in general, like the brony, writing you into that Phil is getting written into My Little Pony fan fiction.
It's probably
some fan fiction is really good. I mean, you do have to admit that. Like, some fan fiction is really good. Now, in general, I don't really read fiction very much at all. I'm kind of a stranger when it comes to those things. I typically read, I read nonfiction just in general, mostly like what people would deem source book type of material.
Right.
So, I mean, you have to remember, like, the shit that I'm interested in, like psychology, philosophy, world religion, politics. So, all of my books look like encyclopedias or dictionaries. It will still be a better love story than Twilight, and it will still be better fan fiction than half the shit I hear about me coming from Joy's Corner. So, that's the way I look at it. There you go. But I'm interested, actually, to read some of Tim's stuff. So, I think I would be kind of scared to read fan fiction that involves me in it. It's one of those, it's like trying to find my happy place. Some things, what I was saying to Chambers earlier, ignorance really is bliss. That guy had no idea how right he was. Well, with some things anyway. I'm too damn curious for my own good on other things, but with some things, ignorance is a bliss. yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't think I could live my life, like, during the ignorance is bliss thing. Because, like, okay, yeah, it might be sometimes, depending on what you're talking about. But I look at it as but it's fake. It's fake happiness. It's false bliss,
True.
essentially.
True.
Because you are blissful only because you're not aware of the truth.
It's one of those things where you'll hear me say it, and I'll be like, ignorance is bliss, but then I'm the first person to start asking questions. Or then, I am so fed up with humanity right now, but I guarantee you somebody needs help, I will drop everything at the first sight of a screaming child. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of those things where it's like, Phil, you know you're full of shit on this one, and I'll be like,
yes.
Damn it.
And I know you're full of shit on it, too. So,
Yep.
it's fine.
So that's why I'll be like, damn it, you're right.
I understand the statement, and I definitely understand the sentiment. Good God. It makes my head hurt even worse than it already does. But no, okay, losing my train of thought consistently. But yeah, so you're allowed to complain about whatever you want. Like, I remember you mentioning, like, you had a torn rotator cuff.
Tendinitis, bursitis, and rotator cuff. This shoulder right here was actually the worst of the two. It still nags from time to time, but it's nothing like super fierce. And then this one, I think, was more, the pains from this were going into like my spine, and then that was going over here, but there was still some of that was actually diagnosed. And so the physical therapy was great for that.
There you go.
Plus I had a pinched nerve on top of that shit. And man, pinched nerve is fucking ugly.
All of those things, like, combined, that's hell. But I mean, all of those things individualistically are extremely painful. I've watched my aunt deal with all of that.
It was.
So you get to bitch about that. Just because people are in the world or somewhere, are worse off than you, doesn't mean that your experience is any less. Because I used to say the same thing.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I used to say the same thing about my own illness. Like, I walk into the doctor's office, or, I would get referred to another neurologist or a neurosurgeon.
Tim kind of creeping me out there, buddy.
It's true, though, because you got mistaken for Edward, and you flipped the fuck out. You're like, oh my God, lady, what did I ever do to you?
I did that. That did happen.
It's a compliment. Edward is sexy, whatever.
But no, because when I was in the process for physical therapy and stuff, dealing with all of that, they were having like a conference or something. Some people were getting together, and there was a lady there that knew like Eastern practices and was talking about like acupuncture and stuff like that. And she's like, "Do you mind if I try something here?" And I'm like, "Lady, if it makes the pain go away, you go for it, within reason, of course."
That's what I said. I have tried everything.
So she starts touching certain points. And I'm open-minded enough about it. I don't think it's going to be a magical cure-all. But as far as the pinched nerve goes, she touched a particular spot on my back, and the whole thing went pop, 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 and I'm like, ah. And she's like, she's like, "What's the matter? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm okay. Please do that again. Please do that again. That's the best I've felt in a long time. You can do that all day long, lady.
All day and all night.
All night long. Holy cow." So, I mean, holy crap.
But yeah, that is some fucking painful shit to go through. But I mean, when I've been to my doctor's appointments, or, specialists that I've been referred to or continue to get referred to, whatever, I walk in and I'm just like, oh my God, like, I'm such a bitch for thinking that everything is so horrible, even though it actually kind of is, but whatever. Anyway, like, I'll feel bad about the fact that I feel bad over my illness, because I see all these people that have it way worse than I do. They have permanent brain,
brain damage, or just something going on.
Thank you. They have permanent brain damage. They have, permanent scarring. They have literally chunks of their brain that are missing. Like, it's very sad to see. So, not just people that are in constant physical pain, but people that are just constantly suffering.
Right.
On a
There's
level that
definitely.
I can't even remember. Like, they can walk, or I can walk. They can't. I can. There's a lot of things that I can do and that I'm blessed with that they are not. So it's just like, I feel like, okay, get over yourself, like, kind of thing. But
Well, I think it's
like
good
the
for a
same
moment of
time,
like reflection and stuff.
right?
I
I do
really
too.
do.
Absolutely.
I will tell you,
Everyone should have that moment where they feel
they just kind
humbled
of
and they
reflect on
feel
that, and they're like,
grateful for what
I
they
should be
have.
grateful. Exactly.
Yes.
I should be kind of grateful. I am lucky to be alive right now. I've met
Yes.
some really awesome people. I've done some really cool things. It's all well and good. But I don't think by any means that, like, I can compare any of my experiences to, like, someone that's going through fibro or somebody that's, like, a quadriplegic or anything like that. Because that's on a whole nother level. And even the family stuff that I dealt with, I've talked to people that have dealt with, shit way worse than me. And that stuff throws me for a loop every time. It was, like, last week, actually. I was talking to a guy over the phones, doing tech support and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I have survived a number of car accidents. One of them was particularly bad. The car afterwards looked like a piece of modern art. And I was lucky. I walked out of that with scrapes and scratches. There was no way that I should have, but I did. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my god, I'm alive. We bounced off that guardrail.
We need to start a club.
I call it the Timex Club.
People that have been in the what?
The Timex Club, because you take a licking and you keep on ticking. But
I like it.
But now, the guy that I talked to on the phone, though, he had a very similar experience, but it almost snapped his spine. Not quite. But he needs to use a wheelchair from time to time, and gradually it's getting more and more to where he could wind up using a wheelchair.
Right.
Okay? And I'm sitting there, and my heart goes out to the poor guy, because I'm sitting there going, that could have very easily been me.
Shut up, baby.
That could have very easily, been me and stuff, and I'm sitting there going, I'm healthy, I'm able-bodied, I'd have some weird stuff in my legs from time to time that feel kind of weird, but that's other stuff, and I get the occasional thing there, but, I'm all in all a very healthy, able-bodied person. I'm very lucky to be that way. There are enough times that could have been very different, and I'm sitting there going, we look at the world that we live in, and people just don't appreciate it. They take it so much for granted. They don't bother to try and do things. They don't bother to learn new experiences, meet new people, anything like that. Or they take so much advantage of it. Joy's a good example of this one, She doesn't appreciate the fans that she's got worth a damn. It's just somebody to be used and thrown away, and it's a shame. But all that aside, it's just one of those moments where you kind of reflect and go, I am not going with that through that person. I can't even imagine what that person is going through or what I would do in their shoes. But I do feel so incredibly grateful for the fact that I'm not going through it. I do feel really, really lucky to be in the position that I have, and I hope the best for everybody, all in all.
Absolutely. Well, because especially statistically, like you and I have talked about this. Both of us have been in, more than me, but both of us have been in a extreme amount of car accidents. Much more so than your average person. Like times 3. In your case, probably times 10 than the average person. So just statistically, being in that many accidents, we should be fucked up. Like,
we're hiding from cars in general.
No shit. Well, there was a time
that
I did. Like, for a time, I did. Like, I did not ride in a car. I did not drive a car. Like, I did not even like crossing the street or walking in a parking lot. It did not happen.
It was never that bad. I was able to cross the street.
Yeah.
And parking lots are not a thing
for
me.
Well, remember, I was run over. So, like, that... No. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Me and cars had
very
issues.
Quickly.
Yeah. So, now, it's not like that at all. It hasn't been like that for many years. It's just a matter of, I just don't drive. And there's still, I have some anxiety about being a passenger with specific people. I'm just
Well, I
like...
think anybody does there. I think anybody that is there, because you have somebody that's like a crazy driver, you're
But,
like...
once you prove... Yeah, I know, right? You grab onto the oh shit handle for a reason.
Oh, yeah. You're like
Yeah.
this. I'm surgically welding myself to the freaking vehicle. Actually,
Exactly.
in hindsight, maybe that's not a good idea. Actually, that's a really
Exactly.
poor idea. Please don't do that. And not just because of the pain and suffering from the welding, but just because if you actually got hit, that would probably break you up along with the vehicle. Not
Yes.
a good idea.
Yeah,
I would
one
not.
of the accidents...
Negative 10 out of 10. Would not recommend.
Yeah, not a good thing. One of the accidents that I was in, one of my older, I was younger, one of my exes, my boyfriend at the time, when I was a teenager,
That lived in
he
Texas?
was in the vehicle. No.
All my exes live in Texas. I couldn't. You know how I am.
That's okay. We love to hear you sing. So, any chance, it's cool. You can pop in a song and dance. It's all right.
Probably about the
but
best
yeah.
dancing you'll ever see out of me, but okay.
But, yeah, he was in the vehicle. We were both in the back seat. And he was wearing his seatbelt, which in this case made it worse. But all the windows in the vehicle broke. And he got drug out of the side window, still strapped into his seatbelt. So he stayed in the seat. Meanwhile, his torso, everything up, was out of the vehicle as the vehicle was rolling downhill. So, yeah. That was pretty bad. He broke, 5 ribs and had
Motorcycle
a
injuries are
spinal
no joke.
fracture. It was bad. Oh, yeah.
They will ragdoll
Motorcycles
you.
are the worst. Now, I have a friend that lives in Texas. I think he finally learned his lesson that 2 wheels just simply are not his friend. They're just not. He's been in 4 accidents. All 4 of them nearly fatal.
See, I like the way that
He has
motorcycles
broken
look.
his femur. He has... Oh, yeah, I do too.
I like the way they
love
look,
getting
but
on them. I love the
they
feel
make me
of
nervous.
them, but I could never actually drive a motorcycle. Whoa, my God, no. And not really because of me, more so because of everybody else. And statistically, you're more likely to actually get hit on a motorcycle than anything
I would
else.
not trust myself on a motorcycle in this town, especially with the way some of the people drive. I'd be like, nope, because they would look at me like the dog looks at things from the game Duck Hunt, okay?
Oh my God,
That
was
would
one
not
of
end
my
well.
favorite games. I still love playing that game.
Those cars would look at me like I look at lasagna and root beer, okay? Hey! You can tell that's not going to work out very well. Not at all.
Now, okay, you're making me. I was already hungry, and now I'm fucking starving. But
So you've gone
nothing
from.
is
So you're going from
open.
Hungary to Turkey?
I've surpassed Turkey.
So straight up ham then.
We're in. I don't know what's. Would I go north or south if I'm more hungry? I don't know.
Whether you're north or
I don't know
south,
how
more
that
hungry?
works out. I was trying to geographically. I was gonna make another geographic joke, but I don't really know if I'm more hungry, then would I continue traveling northbound or would I go south, east or west? I don't know. Anyway, I'm fucking starving.
It depends on the hummingbird, and then you have to decide whether it's African or European.
Aw, thank you. But yeah. Oh, the South shit. We have good food in the South, yeah. He's from the South too. He knows.
Well, not from the South. I live in the South. I was born in Jersey, but
Jersey.
Jersey. Like,
Joyzy.
my bad. But,
Whatever. You lived in Tennessee for, like, how long now?
2004.
Okay, yeah. You can officially call yourself Southern. That's, like, a thing. You know how, like, New Yorkers are like, you have to live in New York for at least 10 years before you can consider yourself a New Yorker? Yep. Yeah. It's pretty much the same thing with the South. Like, you spend a certain amount of time in the South, and it's just like, you're Southern whether you like it or not.
I think it was the difference was explained to me was like, now you're a Yankee, you're just not a damn Yankee. And what's the I'm like what's the difference?
Oh my God, that sounds like my mother.
Oh no. The funny thing is, they were like,
who uses that word anymore? I still don't understand.
Plenty of people. Plenty of people, but it's usually a joke, and I always thought it was funny because they're like, no, the damn Yankees.
No, they're serious to me.
But they're like, the damn Yankees were the people from up north. The Yankees are the the people that wised up and knew better.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I did that I told that horribly, but still.
No, I've heard it. Yeah.
And I did live in Texas. I lived in Texas, Fort Bliss for a time.
Right. That's right.
5 years
I was
in Fort
only in
Bliss.
Texas for 6 months because I went to Baylor.
Okay.
But I visited Texas every year.
Silver?
Oh, Tenacious. Okay.
Yeah, she's got to go in 20 minutes. Let me go ahead and get to her, because... Alright. So, thank you for guesting. We'll do this again.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.
See you soon.
Sorry about that, Lotus. Are you ready to guest? I will jump on that so we can get you taken care of here. Okay, cool. Please welcome Tenacious Lotus. And I'll go ahead and guest you now. Question is, does it work? I think it's working. Maybe.
Hey.
Hello, I hear you. I don't quite see you yet. Nope, wait, there you are. Hello, good to see you face to face.
It's good.
I think this is your first time in the actual stream.
Yes.
It's okay.
Okay, so I was avoiding doing this for a very long time because I didn't want to. I want to make a few things clear right off the bat. I don't hate Joy. I don't wish her any harm. I wish for her to nothing more than have a great life, and I don't even want her channel to come down. I want her to do her and just leave me alone. I've been through so much with her. I don't care if I got an apology at this point. I can't do it. I can't deal with it. What she did was unexcusable. I can't forgive it. I can't. It's unforgivable what she did. And it's not even what she did to me. She hurt somebody very close to me, and I'll never forgive that. So there's a few things I just want to clear up.
You have the floor.
I am not a crazed fan of Joy. I never was. I saw her on YouTube, thought she was very cool, and decided that I was going to reach out and see if I got a message back. Never expected to get one, never thought I would. Got a message back. Me and her started connecting on a very close personal level to the point where she was sharing details with me she wasn't sharing with other people. And so you can't sit here and say I wasn't a close friend because you weren't sharing any of that stuff with anybody else. You only shared it with, like, 4 people, and I was one of them. So you can't use that excuse. We were close and personal friends, even if it was just on the internet. And the only reason why this hurts so bad is because I legitimately thought we were friends. And she said that she was going to use the stuff that I had made for her, never expected her to ever. She's the one who set that idea because she asked to use it and said that she was going to. And I have the proof of that. I don't feel the need to share it or show it because I know what I did and I know what she did. And I don't have to prove that. But, there's just a few things that I do want to show. For instance, this right here, this sparkle bear. Yeah, I made this. It was her profile pic for a while. And, I'm kind of tired of seeing people draw pictures of her with this sparkle bear thinking that it's attached to her. It's not attached to her. I made it. And then she rejected me, even though she said she was going to use all of this stuff, and then she thought of me as a close personal friend, and then turns right around and says I was nobody. How was I nobody? And then to sit here and after I put hours in because you said you wanted to use these outros that I made for you, and then just turn right around and say you're not going to use any of them just because I went and talked to Phil and you're mad about that? That's not right. It's fucked up. I should be allowed to talk to whoever I want and it not be a problem, even if you don't like who I'm talking to. That's why I'm mad. Not only that, I don't have any evidence of her saying that because she, as you heard earlier in the stream, loves to just talk about everything on Skype because there's no paper trail that way. I found out from my friend Tim that she said she wasn't going to use our stuff anymore because she was mad at us. So, yeah. Now bringing to the actual reason here, she says that I'm got this weird idea that she's a liar and that, you know, I'm sitting here saying that she was purposely setting people to bait. Well, I know she did. I know she did because I have the chat record saying that she said, you know, someone saying that they were sitting there to bait for Joy. To bait for her and get people to say things against her so that she could weed out the apparent liars. Well, Tim talked to Phil. He did not like the things that he heard, and he has PTSD, so it's really hard for him because he has issues with people lying to him. And he got very upset, and he decided to go and talk to somebody else that was in our small inner circle, and talk to them about it, about what he found out about Joy. Well, it was just to kind of deal with his PTSD. This person blew it out of proportion, went and told Joy. He felt bad, decided that he wanted to go and apologize to her, do the right thing, apologize, and, you know, just say sorry for anything that he may have said that may have offended her. And she accepted his apology on Skype, told him he needed to go into our small group chat she had on Twitter and apologize to everybody. So he did that. And then she's tried to make it out that he blamed his PTSD and went off on him after she had another person go in there and purposely scream and yell at him and trigger his PTSD. When she knew that he had PTSD and knew how to trigger it. And that really freaking pissed me off because she knew he had PTSD and she used it against him. She didn't have to see the pieces that... She didn't have to see the pieces that I had to pick up afterwards. She didn't see how badly it hurt him. I had to deal with that for the rest of the day.
Yep.
For the rest of the day and for weeks after this happened, I had to spend my time sitting here consoling my best friend because she fucked with his head so bad. So, yeah, I'm sorry if I'm a little hurt. I'm sorry if I'm a little angry. I feel like I'm justified. You don't get to do that. You don't use someone's illness against them and then sit here and play victim. You don't. And then sit here and try to turn around and act like I don't know what's going on and try to make it out as, oh, well, your best friend did this. Are you stupid? I have all of his chat records. I can see them. I freaking live with him. I can go back and look and see what happened. I'm not dumb. I have eyes. I can read. Did you think I'm gonna find out? Because I'm obviously gonna believe my best friend of fucking 3.5 years over you. I'm not a liar. I'm not some, obsessed fan with her. I never was. I freaking loved Joy when I met her. And I tried to get to know her, and I tried to talk to her about my life, but I'm going to be honest with you, most of the time when I talked to her, she always brought it back to herself and made it about her. So yeah, that's why Joy doesn't know a whole lot about me, because she chose to not to get to know me. I did want to know her. And I did actually know her on a personal level because she chose to share all that information with me. And I wish she could have gotten to know me better. But at this point, I'm glad she didn't because of how she did things. Now, there are people who know this. Yes, I did threaten legal action against her because I don't trust her. I don't want her to talk about me anymore, ever. And I know she has since I told her not to do it. I have the fucking proof of that, too. Stop talking about me. Keep my name out of your mouth. Keep Tim's name out of your mouth. We're done. We don't want any association with you. And the fact that I'm even pulled back into this is ridiculous. That's really all I have to say. Just leave me the fuck alone. I've left you the fuck alone. Yeah, I've talked to people you've hurt because I want them to know that I'm here for them. The shit that you do is fucked up. But I'm not going after Joy. I don't care about her. I have no purpose to do so. And especially when, one, she almost doxed herself. I caught that. I sent it to Tim, and Tim talked to her to help her get it down before she accidentally released her own name. Unfortunately, it was up for about 6 to 7 hours before she caught it. So, yeah, you can't sit here and say that I'm trying to hurt Joy. I never did. I tried to save her own ass against herself. So, yeah, I think I've cleared the air for the most part. That's really all I had to say.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to make sure, because I know you've been struggling with this for a bit, and what to do about it and all on. You and Tim have really been real troopers about this whole thing, because there's enough times where you definitely would be dead to rights to just letting her have it and blast her both barrels. But every time I've heard you guys speak about it, it's always been, I'm done with this, I just want to move on, I just want to find something better. And yeah, there are moments of anger. I think that's legitimate for anybody. I would be surprised if people weren't angry or hurt about it, to be fair. But you guys have always tried to put the best face on it that you could and move forward. And it's like people kept starting shit behind the scenes toward you, talking stuff about you, talking to other people about you. And I think that's completely inexcusable. And I know that Joy knows this, too. She knows the stuff that goes on. She associates with the people that do this. And she's regularly chumming it up, laughing up with them. She likes their posts. She sees the stuff that they do. So she can't say that she doesn't support harassment, because she knows what they're saying. She's lying.
I can't tell you after this whole thing happened just because I decided to disassociate with her because of what she did to my best friend, how many times I have been attacked by different of her fans just because of the fact that she doesn't like me and she's been spreading lies about us. I just want to be left alone. I don't want anybody to freaking contact me anymore that has any association to Joy. If you like her, that's great. But I don't want any association with her. I want nothing to do with her. And there's no reason for you to come attack me. It's done and over with. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. We're adults. Why can't we drop it? What she did was fucked up. I don't want to talk to her, and I don't want her ever to speak about us ever again. That's it.
Well, I will hope for the best with you there. You know how she is when she needs a scapegoat or a fall guy or something like that.
Oh,
Anything to paint herself as a victim.
Know. The drama's already restarted.
Really? I heard some.
Yeah, I've been contacted at least 7 times within the last 24 hours with all sorts of fucking hate. It's just started all over again.
Now, is that with like some things that, like certain things, or is it like Twitter people being stupid, shit like that?
Twitter people being stupid, but also about her lies that she's made. For instance, there's this lie going around that apparently I said I was making an exposed video, which I never said. She has this convoluted idea that I was gonna make an exposed video, and I never did. Why would I do that? I have no purpose to try and hurt her. I don't want to hurt her. I don't care. I just want it to be left alone. That's it.
You know, Joy really is the epitome of what you would call a self-fulfilling prophecy. She's so worried about all this shit, but she causes enough shit that she winds up making it actually happen until the person finally gets fed up and said, okay, you want to keep talking like I'm doing this? Fine, here you go. I warned your ass. You made your bed, now sleep in it. So, you know.
Yep.
That's exactly what it comes down to. And I'll say again, because you know how pissed off I was when I found out about it.
Yes.
I was super pissed off. Like, my hands were shaking, and I'm like, I'm really not in a good mood right now. Oh god, it still pisses me off, but I was
Yeah.
exceptionally livid then. Because neither one of you deserve that. You're both awesome people. You got your own challenges and stuff that you deal with, but you try to be good to everybody, and when all this shit isn't going on, you're just kind of fun-loving, jovial people that crack up with each other regularly. And it's great and very refreshing to see. And I was glad to see that there was any kind of a lull period and people were leaving you alone. And now this shit's happening, and that's just for the birds. People shouldn't be treated
it's just
like that.
unfortunate. I reached out to Chambers just to let her know she wasn't alone. And that, it's okay, just to blast away and move on, because unfortunately this is just the pattern that she has. And unfortunately, one of her subscribers saw it, and it just blew up from there, and then it got posted on lolcow by somebody, so now for some reason I'm back in the fucking line of fire, and it's just like, I literally just reached out to somebody that I watch on YouTube because I felt bad that this was happening to them. Not to start shit with you, I was just clearly telling them how to get away from it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, well, look what happened. Look, all Chambers had to do was like a video that was against her, and she blew up out of that, and everybody's like, this is kind of fucked up. I do hate what she does to people who get in her way.
Yes.
She does need serious mental help. She does not know how to handle criticism. She cannot handle criticism. That is one of many lies that she tells. Because when you dismiss people routinely as being liars or haters unless they fawn praise all over you, that's very telling about that person's personality. You can say whatever you want about me, but I'll still give you the right of way, and the worst thing I'll do is laugh it off with you. I may ask you questions like shit, but I'm only going to have a problem with you when I think that I'm getting like head games or something like that.
Right.
Other than that, you can say that I'm full of shit. You can say that, I hate this guy's guts. Okay. Congratulations, you hate my guts. Now what? So what?
Yeah. Yep. No, that's just kind of been this whole ordeal ever since this has ended with her to begin with, and
Joy's got a problem with anybody that doesn't basically praise her like she's some sort of goddess.
Pretty much, and it's like, I don't care if you like her, that's great, go right ahead, but I personally don't care for her. I don't hate her, I don't wish her any ill will, I just want her to leave me alone. I want her fans that actually are psychotic to her level to leave me alone, because not all of them are. I'm just talking about the ones who keep harassing me. Leave me alone, that's it, that's all I ask. I haven't done anything. All I did was ask her to please leave me alone because of what happened. Because of the fact that I was a critical thinker and she didn't like it, and all of a sudden she decided she had to get rid of me because I could think for myself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I have a brain.
That's nothing to apologize for. They need to use theirs a little bit more thoroughly. Use that head as something other than a hat rack. But, Joy's fans are always wondering why they get the hate in return. Why people are always saying, you're like a cult. Why people are always saying, this is what their fans do. Well, this is why, because that's what they do. I see the comments they make, I see the Twitter replies they make and how they congregate about this shit. I see the people they post on YouTube and some of the really nasty stuff that's been said at some points. Mm-hmm. And it's like, my thing is, you guys see it, you guys allow it, even the ones that are on the fence, you still allow it. That's not cool. Stand up and say something about it. You don't have to be a party to that. We can still, as a community, as a whole, regardless of what your viewpoint is, decide how we act and react about it. And it doesn't have to be more of the same shit going back and forth and back and forth. We've seen enough of that shit with Onision. Nobody likes that guy.
Right.
It doesn't make it right if Joy's doing it. It doesn't make it right if someone in here's doing it. What's wrong is wrong. It's just that bloody simple. But apparently simple things are overly complicated these days. I don't fucking know.
Absolutely.
I think she's done the anti-Onision thing to death. She's obsessed with that guy. She was obsessed back then, she's obsessed now. It is completely a control thing. She has to be the winner no matter what. If she's not, if it's even remotely challenged in the slightest, the obsession will pop back up all over again. And she has never had a definite win. It is not going to be a definite win because this is basically Narcissist Battle Royale there. Nobody wins. In this whole situation, nobody wins. Everybody loses. It's just a question of how much. And quite frankly, aren't we all sick and tired to death of that?
Yep, absolutely. Well, unfortunately, I have to go, but I appreciate you letting me come on stream and give my side of things and just clear the air. So
No problem.
I really appreciate that.
hey, it's been a long time coming. It takes a lot of guts to stand up and answer questions to the crowd, people on both sides of the fence and stuff, and let your viewpoint known. It's been a long time coming. It takes a lot of guts, and I know you went through a lot of personal turmoil back and forth over whether you should. Quite frankly, you have a lot of respect for me from doing so, and I hope things only can continue to improve from there, because you are one awesome chick.
I hope so. I've blocked her. I don't have any association with her. I just want to be done with it. To be honest, I'll just keep blocking her fans that come after me. I don't care enough. I'm out of it. My life has improved by her not being in it. I've gotten a raise. I've gotten a new car. I don't need her to come back into my life and muck things up again. I don't care if she apologizes. I'm done. That's it.
Right. And that statement goes out to Tim, too, because I hope things only get better for him. He's an awesome dude. I know he doesn't, pop up on stream much, but even in chat, he's just a fun-loving guy. So, again, I'm glad both of y'all are around. Please don't be a stranger, and I hope these good tidings only continue. I'll be rooting for you. I will be rooting for you.
Well, we root the same for you now that you're out of it, and your life has improved too, so hopefully
everybody does. It's really weird. The moment everybody gets out of it, all of a sudden, boom, life just it's like, for all our talk about karma, it's like it's trying to right itself, because automatically everything just shoots up through the roof, and you're like, huh. Well, that's
right?
And after struggling so much, it's just like, okay.
Right?
Now what? Hold on, there's another meteor, isn't there? Where's my umbrella? Hold on. No meteor?
Right?
Okay. Okay, cool. Thanks. This could be a thing. I could get used to this.
Alright, well, I'm gonna let you go, so.
Alright. Be safe, have fun picking up Tim. Take care.
Bye.
Alright. Yeah, drama gets people sucked in really quickly. It's like quicksand. It just keeps you pulling back in. The craziest thing about Joy, though, is if she had just left this shit alone, it would have died out. You talk about people dealing with short attention spans and stuff. It would have just died out on its own. Nobody would really cared for the most part, and for the most part, everybody would have gotten along with their days and just kind of, not really blinked an eyebrow of it. Alright, Tim, take care, buddy. But she just had to keep pushing it, keep doing all these wild and crazy things, the live stream meltdowns, all that shit. There is nobody that can do more damage to Joy than Joy. Definitely. I stand by that statement 100%. There is nothing that I can say or do that will, top anything that she does to herself. Joy is when it comes to Twitter, she is worse with that thing than Donald Trump. And I have mixed feelings about Trump, all in all. I have things that I think are interesting and things that I don't really care for. But when it comes to those tweets, he's really kind of off the rails when it comes to his tweeting. Okay? And when it comes to Joy and her Twitters, she's actually more off the rails than he is, and that's saying something. This girl's got, no control. Joy is the poster girl for the failure of mental health care in the USA. Sure, I'll go with that. She is her own worst enemy. I told her from the beginning, just be straight up, be real, be honest. You can't really go wrong with that. People may hate, but there ain't much to go with. But for all of her claims of consistency, the only real consistency is her stupid bullshit, her excuses, and that she's not very consistent. I agree. I agree on when it comes to Angel. As much as Angel was not an angel in that situation, she was messed up by Katie at the end of it. At the same token, I have told her personally to her face in communication that she is still responsible for her actions. She has agreed. Well, I won't say she agreed with it. It was one of those more or less, I understand what you're saying. I won't try and put words in her mouth and say, I agree. No. She said, I understand what you're saying. I'm seeking help and getting myself in order. And as near as I've seen from her since, she seems to be doing exactly that. So I'm not going to fault her for that. I'm not going to sing her praises. I'm also not going to vilify her either. Her words ring quite true. And so I just leave it at that. The pic that you sent me? What picture did you send me? Is it on, like, Facebook or something? Or not Facebook, Gmail. Was it on Gmail? Because you saw the most interesting, there's the most interesting man in the world suit. If that's what you mean. Of the ad. Oh, the one of the ad on her channel. Okay. Oh, my everything is blowing up. That's funny. Actually, that is kind of a little bit of a striking resemblance. He just needs a pair of glasses, but okay. Let's see. Ugh. Might as well check my chat real quick, because it looks like it is live streaming and it didn't really pull that up. Strangely enough, no chats. Well, I got one down view. That's funny. 42 views, 1 upvote, 1 downvote. It happens. Presidents are kind of a weird mixed bag. I don't think any of them have been really particularly pleasant. We've not exactly had much in the way of winners there. Politicians, I think, the best answer that I ever gave on politicians, I think, was the night of the election. And it was, someone asked me, did you vote for the person that deserved it? And I looked at her and I said, lady, in all honesty, in the 30-some years I've been alive, I have not known to date a politician that got into office, presidential or otherwise, that I could legitimately say deserved it. And her mouth just kind of did like this, like, jaw drop sort of thing, and her friend had to kind of pull her away because she was one of those that was looking to, like, harass somebody and stuff, and I'm like, forget that. But in usual snarky form, just like, look, I don't like any of them. I will list pros and cons on all of them for the most part, with the exception of Hillary, because I cannot stand Hillary. But I also couldn't stand Bush either, so, you know. I have a lot of mixed views on, well, when you're voting between Hitler and Stalin, you're really not going to win one way or the other. And I said quite plainly that the sanest person in that election was the dude that was wearing the boot on top of his head, and he was there as a joke. So, it says a lot about people and not just the voting process, but people in general, because it got to that point. So, I have very odd views on, like, politics and different stuff, but even still, it doesn't make my particular candidate right, or any of them right or wrong. It just is what it is. Where did that go? Oh, that was the first stream. Okay, that's what happened now. So let's see. Oh, Diz popped up on there and it's like, hi! But, alright. I was just trying to make sure real quick that I did not lose anybody in there. Oh, hello again. Hello. Hillary? No, Hillary's no longer in politics. She's done with that. That was her own words. She was done with that. I worry about whoever's going to be running next, because depending on how things go, it could either be, look, we're tired of this already, it could be one of those, they just go completely the other side of the coin, or we could wind up somebody that's, like, seriously dangerous, actually dangerous for the country as a whole. I don't know. Scritch, 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 scritch. Lincoln? Actually, about Lincoln. He was actually, Honest Abe was not so honest. He was a bit of a womanizer, and he once instituted martial law so he could try and do things with, like, polling booths and stuff. It was kind of, he was a decent president, but he was not so squeaky clean. Not that that really, not that that's anything new when it comes to anything in politics. I liked JFK. I did not appreciate the way that he kind of slept around on Jackie O, because he did not really give her the respect she deserved. But other than that, he actually seemed like a really decent guy that wasn't afraid to challenge the status quo. I can always appreciate that. To flee the country? Yeah, well then you have to find a place to go to. That's the thing. Where are you gonna go? Really? See, I don't think he killed Marilyn. Him and Bobby Kennedy, I don't think either one of them killed Marilyn Monroe. There were other people that were close to her and close to them that probably did it, because she was looking through some stuff. She had a lot of different information on a lot of folks, which suddenly disappeared. So, I don't think that either one of those two did it. I think that whoever was responsible for JFK's death was responsible for that, because Oswald couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, and the trajectories just don't add up, so he didn't do it. If you have room for one more and a 9-year-old, then you have to figure out where you would really go. I've thought about Canada a couple of times, but honestly, that's like social justice warrior territory right now, so I am, like, not really inclined to go there. I heard good things about Australia, but maybe New Zealand. New Zealand I never hear anything about, so doesn't sound like a bad idea. Yeah, I never hear anything out of New Zealand. Everybody else has got this, and this in the circle. New Zealand's like, yeah, man, I got all the best scenery, we've got all kinds of interesting creatures, and nothing really goes down here. Tumbleweed Pass, it's big news, Australia, though. Australia, it like, comes up with new ways to kill human beings. Like, anything that can kill a human being is basically found in Australia. At the same token, those people are hell of a strong, too, because they have to live in that. UK's going to hell in a handbasket, America's going to hell in a handbasket, Mexico's been there and basically reserving seats for everybody else. Sweden has gone tits up. I hear Germany, mixed things about Germany and France, and Lord knows about the rest of Europe. And let's not even get into China, and Russia's like, basically, forget this, Russia ain't fucking around. I still don't know really what's going on there, but I dropped out of the politics scene, like, for the last, I want to say, month, so I don't know what's currently... I am not up to date on what's going on with it currently. Want to go somewhere that speaks English? Well, I said there's a lot of social justice warrior stuff that's like, it's become like home turf for that, but I don't think all Canadians are social justice warriors. One of our residents, Kaylee, she's from Canada and she's freaking amazing. I'd actually pity her if a social justice warrior tried to start stuff with her, because she would tear them up, and I would applaud. Yeah, I'm kind of starting to dredge my limits, too. It's about 6 in the morning. I'll try to push it a little bit. When my eyelids start getting heavy, then at that point, I'm going to have to turn in. I may get back up and do another stream just so we can, game and have fun and all that stuff. Like I said, my original intention was not to make this a Katie stream. It just, of course, all the people coming out with questions. Okay. Best drinking game ever. Have a shot whenever Trudeau says, Oh, when I get up here, I without a doubt, I will crash. I will totally crash. I'm already starting to get a little bit loopy, and I can already see that it's kind of showing in my eyes. They're getting like all watery looking and stuff. And I'm not putting my thoughts together really well. But that's why I chose to do this on a day before an off day. Because I would not be doing this before a work day. Not a good idea. Nope. It is 6 in the morning here. So I've got some UK people in here, which is not surprising. I have like a wide variety in terms of audience and stuff. Was going to sleep when he saw it? Yeah. Ha. Oh no, not a therapy session. I am not a therapist. No way. Can't. Nope. Really? I hadn't done streams in a little while. The last stream that I did, I was testing out the OBS stuff, so I was playing games from an NES emulator on there for everybody. I also did a thing for, we were all watching like Gabriel Iglesias, and there was another one we were watching the movie for Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So we do have varieties. There's a variety of stuff on here. It's not just talking about Katie, and actually this is the first time in a while that Katie's actually popped up on the stream, as far as a topic goes. Gameplay requests. Yeah, from time to time. Usually, if I have it on the, if I have it in my Steam list, or if I have the money to purchase it or something like that. Rock on. All right. Yeah, Quiplash. Quiplash is a good one. Well, I said about that. Yeah, the hashtag was about damn time, because I hadn't streamed in about a week or so because I was ill for a week, and then I streamed just to kind of get a stream going. It was like, okay, whatever. But then it's been a while since I streamed up again, and since we've done a game night or all that stuff, mainly because the OBS stuff starts to crash. There are issues with sound quality and that. So usually what I did before then is I have this. I don't know if you can see it really well. The second monitor here, and I usually move that in the way and all that good stuff. So that's usually what I show the screen. Whenever you see me pulling the screen over in the video, or when I'm streaming and you see stuff like Quiplash and that, it's on that second monitor. Some of them have been really glitchy. It was getting the hang of it was one thing, and of course the OBS stuff. I don't think I saved any of the OBS ones, but yeah, those were glitchy. Those were really glitchy, and we were one night in particular was just trying to hammer out all the associated issues, and there are people who tell you we'd go in and try something, we wind up getting disconnected or it'd freeze again, and then from 1 minute there was nobody could hear you. If they were listening on a phone, they couldn't hear it, and then for those goddamn laptops, I tell you what, no laptop was picking up sound. The appeal of YouNow over streaming and YouTube. I think it's more of a direct fan outreach thing. That's why I take a moment, you saw me pause a moment ago, and look at some stuff. Basically, I will pull up my YouTube from time to time just to make sure there's nobody in the chat that's getting ignored. All that good stuff. Hopefully, and then if people, of course, come and join me, they're always more than welcome. That's fine. And of course, you're always welcome to come to enjoy, playing games and stuff. If you have game requests, then I will see what I can do about them. I don't know. I can't say that I will do them very well, but I really do need to do some more video recording stuff, because the OBS stuff will work fine with that. YouNow is decent. I just haven't really found much of an alternative for the most part, and I'm used to the people that I see on here, so that's why I do streams on here and stuff, because I like the little community that I have on here, and you get to kind of know people a little bit over time, and you know, we just all have fun. All this drama stuff aside, when we're not talking about this, it's very much just kind of shoot the breeze, people talk what's on their mind, and we try to make it about as welcoming as possible. And then, of course, we settle down, and once we finally start running out of topics on that, okay, let's play some games. Because, you know, at the end of the day, everybody's dealing with their own personal challenges, and why not a little bit of positive, you know? Something a little bit different than the usual grumbly bullshit. Really? Actually, I have it in Chrome. The only issues that I've really had for it, other than OBS doing its random stuff, were today, with that random, like, the camera suddenly clipping off and all that, which I still don't know what that's about. Because I was setting everything up to get going, and then all of a sudden the camera clicked, and I'm like, huh, okay, fine, refresh the screen. And then earlier, y'all saw when I did the same thing, and I'm like, that's odd. Okay. I was hoping it was just a minor connection issue. I thought maybe it was a connection issue on my part, but my connection's looking just fine. Which is why you see me looking back over here. I'm looking on the other screen, and not just keep an eye on time, but keeping an eye on internet access. Yeah. Try to do things that help everybody have a good time. So, it's not too much of a surprise to see me, like, if I have OBS and stuff like that up, I may very well put up, like, a movie or stuff for everybody, and we can all sit back and enjoy it together or something like that. I'm still trying to work on the interaction stuff. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're in the hospital. Hopefully we'll have some more positive stuff up for you, Lemon. So, I like more of the positivity stuff. And like I've said before, there's only so much you can say on Joy before you kind of set it to death. Same with the Onision stuff. That's why you're not going to be seeing some, like, crazy Katie series, because, no, that's not going to be a thing. There's only so much you can say. And at that point, you're just beating a dead horse, and that doesn't serve anything. So at that point, you know, I just get away from the, get back away from the toxic, and like, okay, let's play some games, let's have some fun. And of course, if anybody's like on Steam, and I'm like, we're friended or whatever, and like I'm playing a multiplayer game on there, if I have it on stream, and maybe I'll like pull other people up in it, and everybody can watch them play or something like that. I don't know. I'm still testing the waters on a lot of stuff, because I really like engaging everybody if I can help it. I like stuff that'll engage everybody, and that's more why I like to do the Jackbox thing, because if you have a cell phone or a tablet or a web browser, which you probably have anyway, then everybody can get involved for the most part. Oh, from my point of view, well, TLDR, Joy is an asshole. Other than that, they had questions, well, timid questions, so he approached me. Shortly after that, they were letting me know that Joy was talking shit about me behind my back. And that stuff was going on, and I was like, okay, fine. Proof was provided. They were not the only ones to tell me these things. There have been multiple people, before and after, that have told me what Joy has been saying, which is the very shit she was saying in her live stream and all that shit. The Stalker was a new one, though, which is kind of fucked up, considering how she does things, but okay, whatever. So, for the crime of talking to me, and supposedly I forget whether it was endangered her life, or, you know, it was some sort of big thing against her life, and this big overdramatic number, and she was trying to say that, like, Tim didn't have, that he didn't have PTSD and all that other shit, which I was like, really? Where the fuck does she get off? Again, same stuff, she gets pissed off about other people, but here she is, and it's really telling to see, because I'm reading the chat on this, and I'm like, this is really atrocious. It was like not so public, but public humiliation, and it is uncalled for and completely disgusting. There are other things that I've talked about that I'm not at liberty to discuss on that. I don't have permission to discuss them, so I'm not really discussing them in that regard. But the whole behavior of Joy toward them was disgusting. Like, just for talking to me, she went and, dropped all the stuff that Lotus used, that she put time and effort into. And I had seen her in chats beforehand saying, okay, I'll help you with this edit or that edit. So I knew she was definitely doing stuff for Joy. But that happened, and all of a sudden, without a word, just dropped her just because she was there. That makes no sense. And then treating Tim the way he did. Look, all he did was ask questions. He asked questions of her. He asked questions with me. Okay, he name-dropped me in her chat. And valid criticism. It's okay. People should ask questions. Is Philip telling the truth? Again, valid question. He did this probably he asked questions and critically thought in a way that most people do, or that most people don't do, which is I'm taking things from both sides because I don't know this guy and I really don't know her. So I'm gonna ask questions. Okay, cool. I got nothing on that. I applaud it. It's critical thinking. Even if we don't agree, he still thought for himself. He thinks for himself more than a lot of folks in that particular regard. I got mad respect for Tim. He's a pretty cool dude. And I'll get random messages from him or from Lotus and stuff, and kind of see how their day is going. They've had a lot of struggles to deal with that stuff, and they've gone back and forth on what they want to tell and how they want to tell it, and trying not to seem like they're some sort of, I'm just pissed off and have an axe to grind. They've handled this really, really well considering circumstances. Really, really well. And they're generally nice to everybody unless you go out of your way to be an asshole. Again, I'll say what I said earlier. It takes a lot of guts to come up. And, especially dealing with anxiety issues and stuff like that. And to share your side of the story and stuff. So, again, I have a lot of respect for both of them. They're both really awesome people. They're both really intelligent people. And that's regardless of what they think of me or not. They present themselves well. They generally carry themselves well. And I think that really speaks for itself as far as that goes. As far as Joy shit-talking them, what else is new? If you've heard one stupid rant, you've heard them all. She is a brave gal. She is a brave gal. She put up with a lot of shit right around that time. It was finally getting peaceful for her. And then now all of a sudden it's blown up again. And Joy just needs to fucking get over herself. It's really simple as that. She needs to take herself down off the cross she built for herself, use the wood to build herself a bridge, and get the fuck over herself. And quite frankly, I would not stalk that bitch if she paid me to. No thank you. Oh, it ain't low-key anymore. It ain't low-key anymore. That crazy train is off the rails, and there is nobody around left to hold it back. So it's all fucked up from here. All fucked up from there. Let's see. My voice is starting to go, because that's why you can hear it sound like a frog. Well, at least I'm a very hairy frog. It's a cycle. It's the same cycles. It's the same pattern. That's why I said it's very one-dimensional. It is not hard to spot. The closer you are to it, the less likely you're probably going to see it because you're not going to be asking certain questions. And even then, it's probably going to come from a certain defensive view that this person is some altruistic, shining paragon that is just being picked on by people that don't understand. Again, I go back to the criticism, and I say, look, how does she really approach criticism? When was the last time she handled criticism in a healthy manner? That did involve calling people shit-talkers, haters, trolls, and just dismissing them off the fly, making catty statements like, where did you get your medical degree? I mean, really? What the fuck? Or just telling obvious lies like, oh, the Constigo business was an @ when we can clearly see that it wasn't. Or maybe like turning around and saying shit about Phil, and then after he makes a video, turning around and publicly saying the same shit all over again, which is exactly what he said in the first place, hence the damn video, and then turning around after the fact and saying the same lies, even though they've been disproven. I don't get that. I don't honestly get whether this is like deliberate, whether she's trying to push my buttons, whether this is some fucked up cry for help, and she really wants to get reamed so badly that she has no wiggle room and is finally forced to get the psychological help that she needs. Which there's been speculation as to whether her trying to push my buttons has been like, deliberate. And I can see some definite validity in that speculation. Look, Onision, man, when it comes to that, again, all this stuff is just beating a dead horse at this point. It is. I made some brief quips about him, and I left it at that, because there's not much to say that hasn't been said. We get it, Onision's a dick. But now we have Joy that's basically Onision's replacement. Onision has been replaced by Onishion. Yeah, she was going to sue everybody, and then I brought up kind of why she's trying to sue people, and she claims that she has money issues. Isn't that kind of like Onision and his whole trying to raise funds to sue Keemstar sort of thing? I mean, at what point do you go, okay, a line has really been crossed there, and she's crossed it? At some point, you just got to ask certain questions. She was saying stuff that Joy did not like, so Joy immediately blasted her and went, oh, hey! And I really wasn't quite fond of how those words were spread out, but again, that's between her and Joy. I don't have a dog on that particular fight. But I will say, as far as randomly threatening to sue people, she's threatened to sue Constigo, and, deal with her on YouTube and all that other stuff. Really, where are you going to get the money for that? You supposedly are behind on all that money, you're living rent-free, have been for about a year now, so, where are you going to get that? Oh, her favorite one lately is that she's been being lied to and slandered about, which is kind of funny considering you can call it slander all you want, but when it's your own bloody words, you just look like a dumbass saying that shit. And that's how you can tell who the people are that are the real critical thinkers and who are the ones that have sipped the Kool-Aid a little bit too much. I didn't catch all of that stream, Diz. So, I didn't catch the bit about the bit with Liz and the mic drop and stuff. I heard that did not go over very well. Jasmine, I don't honestly think the roomie is an ex. It was somebody with romantic potential that never really blossomed because of other things that were going on and things that he wanted that she didn't. So, a link? No, I don't have the... Oh, I have a link. Oh, okay. I thought you were asking me for a link. I was like, no, I don't, but okay. I will, when I wake up, I will take a look at it, and I will try to stomach through all of Joy's shrieking bullshit. Things that I do. But, yes, she is an expert at playing victim. She does it religiously. Ha, see what I did there. But, yeah, no. As far as I'm aware, X was never a roomie. It's gone back and forth as to whether it was or it wasn't, but to my knowledge, no. Although I think that he basically felt sorry for her and was trying to help. She was one of a couple of options, some of which included former exes, and he seemed the most stable one of the bunch. He went and got her stuff. It was like May 29th, I believe it was, of last year, and she has been there ever since. Again, I think he's just trying to help her out. I feel for the guy. I don't know the whole situation there beyond like little bits and pieces, which is why I generally don't comment on it, other than to say he seems like a decent dude. So I don't think that he's stuck with her. In fact, it seems like that era is quickly ending. Because sooner or later, it's just going to get old, and he's got other things he wants to do. He's planning, I think she said he was planning on moving in a few months. So, yeah, no, she's not, he's not stuck with her. Kitty? No, Kitty's not in the room. No, there's no Kitty. He's not meowing either. Or scratching at the door. Oh, my head. My eyes. My eyes are starting to itch. That's when I start to fade. Let me see if I can find Kitty real quick. How about that? What does she do? You see what she does. I still question about how much she claims she had, and that she's told me that she has 40K, had 40K. That was last year about this time. Okay? People have called into question the validity of that, which it's possible she didn't tell me the truth. It seems legit, but who knows? She mixes so many truth and lies, who knows anymore? Oh, that meow. Okay, that's actually Einstein. The parrot. He can mimic anything. Voices, tones, pitch, noises, beeps, and cat meows. He's actually mimicked the landlord in order to, like, confuse the dogs. It's great. Anything job-like? No. No way. She's gonna keep milking this till the cows come home. My landlord has a parrot. He has a couple of different animals, which at times I help take care of. I do pay rent and all that good stuff. One of those house share situations, so I'm not the only tenant. There are a couple of different tenants in different parts of the house. So he has an African gray parrot named Einstein, a dog, 2 cats, and we've had various other animals since, including like emus and pygmy crocodile and iguanas and chameleons. He get all different kinds of pets, and then it's like, Phil, what do I do about this? You know, you should have figured that out before you got the animal. Hold on, let me see what I can find. It was quite a menagerie. Emus were actually cool. I got to see one actually hatch out of an egg, which was kind of like this. And seeing them from like little and stuff, they make these little sort of noises to each other over and over again to designate each other as part of the group. They're pack animals for the most part. They can get mean, but I've been working with them since they were like little itty bitty, so they're actually very sweet, very affectionate. Can't say that I have, Mr. McRyry, but thank you for the question. Huh. Emus are actually kind of fun, the way that they run around like crazy. You can pet them and stuff. You can even hug them if you like. You just have to be very careful on how you do it, because if you hold them wrong and they go off balance, that's when they will start kicking with those claws. But, like, we have a Siberian Husky, okay? Rocky. And Rocky, he likes to mama over everything. And when they were little, he would always fuss over them, make sure they're okay and all that stuff. So then when they got much bigger, like almost my height big, they get big, man. They're sitting over there, like, watching over him, grooming him, and all that stuff. So it was actually kind of neat. But me, personally, I just have my geckos and my kitty who's running around with the other cats right now. I'm going to see if I can grab him real quick before I get off the stream. So, we'll see if he's feeling up to it. Give me just a moment. Yes, I know. I know I moved everything around. You're like, what is this? So, everybody. Whoa, easy. Whoa, easy. This is my baby. This is my baby Rudolph. Hi, baby. I know. Yeah, this is my baby Rudolph. He's a big boy. My little rescue kitty. He was tiny then. He's big now. Oh, he is a handsome boy. You see that? You see that? You see that? They're talking about you. Oh, you want to see that? He's such a curious boy. Love his little kitty. Since the last time he was in the room, I've changed a lot of things around, so he's looking around going, wait, all of this is different practically. Oh. Hi, baby. He's a big boy. Oh, yeah. When I got him, he was really, really tiny. Someone put him in my hands and basically said, if you don't take him, he's probably not going to make it. And he looked at me eye to eye, put his two little paws on my nose, pulled himself up, and started giving me kisses. Hi, baby. So, after that, there was no way that I wasn't going to take him home. Yes, I know. I know. This is not a tree, baby. You being too cool for school? Oh, yep, I know. You like. There you go, right there. You go on that? Silly. I know, you're trying to figure everything out. You're like, wait, everything changed here. Yes, you still have your box. I actually got a bigger box, which I know you're going to love because he loves boxes. You are not kidnapping my cat, Meow. Get over it. It's not happening. Although he's like, wait, there's my box. He loves boxes for some reason. Most of my animals are generally... My little companions are generally rescues for the most part. Now, the geckos were not rescues. I went and got them at a pet shop. But that's like one of the rare exceptions. Hi, handsome. Rare, I know. Hi. Oh, my baby. Yoink. There we go. Not much. I have at some points when I worked with them more. I could cuddle geckos like bearded dragons. We did have a bearded dragon for a time that was like missing part of its paw, of one of its paws, and she was big because I have pictures where she's like from here to here. And I called her Gypsy. And she would just kind of lay there flat, and she'd just kind of sigh, and I would pet her and tell her how pretty she is. She was a sweetie. Purr, purr, purr. I'm the only one that can get away with doing that. I've been doing that since he was a little kitten. Oh, I know. And basically, what he generally tends to do is, if he's in a room, he makes a beeline for whoever is like the most upset or is going through the most, and he just like snuggles up to them and he just makes them feel like $1,000,000. You're like a little cute furry guardian angel. Yes, you are. You take good care of people too. My baby boy here. Yes, my handsome boy. I am so proud of you. You are such a good boy. Yes, you are. And yes, he does routinely pose like this. He will also like hang off of the ledge and let his paws just drape down, like his front paws. Hi, baby. He's got some very expressive eyes. Although right now he's trying to see where he can like take over this space. Ain't that right? Oh yes, you know it too because you're smiling. You got that little grin on. Goofy goober. My goofy goober looking at that. Ain't you? Hello, handsome. Hello, handsome. Oh, there's that smile. You know how much I love that smile. And yes, I generally... Oh, Rudolph? He is actually about a year? Yes, about a year. It's hard to think of it. He is about a year. No, he's right about a year. And of course, like what he's doing right here, like my hands, he always curls up like this. He's a very, very sweet boy. Good boy, too. You always know how to make me smile. You always know how to make my day a little better. Well, a whole lot more than a little, huh? Silly boy. I love you too, kitty. He's a good boy. There are many cats in this world that are excellent, but there will never be any just like him. He got his own little distinct personality. And this is generally how I baby talk all of my animals. This is generally how I am. Hi. And he loved that. He loves that because I've been doing that since he was a kitten. Definitely, definitely my fur babies. My fur baby. Oh, this kitty will adore over anybody. This is a cat that is very, very easy to love. Yes, I'm talking about you. This is a cat that is very easy to fall in love with. Anybody that meets him, he's like their new best friend. Well, when I walk in, drops everything, comes my way. Anytime I've had some real bad days, he's been here. And yes, I am telling them all about how cute and wonderful and awesome you are. No, that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? That's not even scratching the surface. Good boy. cat. Oh, the cat understands what I'm doing. He's seen me stream before, and he's definitely used to it. So, for time to time, like I'll point at the chat and he'll look things up and down and up and down. If he thinks I'm not paying him enough attention, though, he will definitely like stretch himself out and curl over everything. Right now, he's just enjoying some cuddle time. But more often than not, he'll like put himself between me and the chat and stuff. He's like, okay, I understand you're chatting and stuff, but oh, and of course, 10. Oh. Yoink. Cat butt. I know you're in a good mood. I know you're in a good mood. Hi, baby. I know. He is a love bug. He's a big old love bug. Hi, sweetie. So I've had him about a year, because it was about this time last year that I got him, actually. You can go in my lap. You can go nuzzle that some more. Nobody's forgetting you, silly. Silly baby. He is a big, lovable baby. And he was maybe about, I want to say, about that small when I first got him. He was tiny. He grew up so big, though. Pretty quickly, too. He does not, so like some cats like bubbles, he does not like bubbles. The bubbles start going, he looks at it like, what is this? Actually, he just sits and looks at the parrot. Like, everybody leaves the parrot alone, as far as the other cats go and stuff. He'll sit there and watch him from time to time, and see if he can, like, make it, like, meow and stuff. He's curious, so he'll walk up and be like, but otherwise, he won't bother Einstein. And Einstein generally doesn't bother him either. They'll actually sit on top of his cage and, like, lay there and sleep, but they don't bother him. So, no, they don't try to eat the parrot. Actually, Einstein got that sharp claws and beak and stuff. He could probably do him a job. Night. I'm actually about ready to turn in myself. My eyes are starting to itch. Oh, and he's starting to give me an indicator too. It's like, yeah, it's bedtime. Yeah, he's not gonna. Not with our cats actually. They'll be all right. All right, guys. Well, I definitely wanted to show off my baby here before I headed out. I'm sorry that the whole stream wound up being about Joy. Maybe we'll be able to get to some games and stuff later. Let me get some sleep first, wake up, see vids, field any questions and all that. And then, from there, maybe we can actually get some gameage going. Have a little bit of fun. It was definitely nice meeting all the new faces. Don't be a stranger. You are definitely... oh, no problem. Yeah, don't be a stranger. You're welcome. Definitely welcome. Come on by. We'll have some games, have a little bit of fun, and maybe get a little bit more positive going. Hey, not a problem. I'm actually very easy to reach, and I at least give everybody their fair say. So, from there, yeah, it is what it is. Alright, guys. You didn't make a fool of yourself. Trust me, I've seen a lot worse things in these chats. It's actually a tame, all things considered, especially depending on the topic, especially with some of the people that popped in, I thought it was going to be a lot more tense than it wound up being. That was not the case at all. It was actually a really great evening, and even the people that don't really agree with stuff, you know, they were chilled, they were cool, so, okay, my hat's off to them. Anyway, nice night, everybody, or good morning, whichever it tends to be, And I may be back up again in a few hours, but I need sleep. So peace out. Take care. Welcome to all the newcomers. And don't be a stranger. By all means, stop by when we have our games and stuff going on. Feel free to join in. I hope you feel welcome here. And thank you again, and good night.